It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Main Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs round 2 Monday night. Donovan Mitchell scored 43 points as the Cavaliers tie their series up at 2-2 with the Pistons after a 112-103 win. Game 5 moves back to Detroit on Wednesday night. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 35 points as the Thunder complete the 4-0 series sweep over LeBron James and the Lakers after a 115-110 win. The Thunder now await the winner of the Timberwolves and Spurs, who have Game 5 tonight in San Antonio, with their series tied up at 2 games apiece. In NHL playoffs last night, the Avalanche beat the Wild 5-2 and moved to a 3-1 series lead, and now 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals. And more NFL schedule releases yesterday as the Buffalo Bills will host the Detroit Lions. Week 2 Thursday Night Football will be the Bills' debut in their new Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Also, the Cowboys will host the Eagles on Thanksgiving Day, November 26th at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running on your Tuesday morning edition of Ramon and Will on a beautiful yet brisk morning in Music City, USA. 615-737-1045. How you jump in. You stream the show live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Where has the Titans offense improved or gotten worse this offseason? And how can one player, your quarterback, change the narrative on all of that? We'll talk about that this morning in hour number 2. VolQuest's Austin Price joins us for his weekly visit at 8:20. Taylor Zarzer, voice of the Titans, at 9:20. He'll also preview a little bit of the PGA Championship this weekend. And we'll begin hour 1 with change on the horizon in college football. Some for the better, some for the worse. On this Tuesday, May the 12th, crew's all here. Justin Hawkins behind the glass, Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
We're good, man. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Last week was Cinco de Mayo, and we did a whole little festival at the house, man, just as a heads up. It was a cool time. So today, we probably just going to get American tacos at home, just so you know.
What constitutes an American taco?
Ground beef, hard shell tortillas, and lettuce, shredded cheese with tomatoes and salsa.
Well, they got those in other countries. They got those in Mexico.
Nah. I don't get those in Mexico. Not even a little bit.
What do you get in Mexico?
I get the soft, stacked 2 mini tortillas with like some
street
grilled
tacos.
meat, street tacos. Yeah, just with something real simple. Like it's usually like, what I'm saying, the chopped up chicken or beef, and it's mostly grilled for the most part. You do some cilantro, some onion, and some salsa on top of it.
I know the ones.
No cheese, no shredded cheese, none of that on there. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
They are good.
Have you ever had tacos in Mexico?
Just like that, I'm hungry. I've never been to Mexico before.
Oh, my gosh. It is a good time. The stereotypes that it gets, it's actually a real good time. I did Mexico City as well. By far, some of the best avocados I've ever had in my life.
Avocados from Mexico.
Yes, they were
There's a reason why they're from Mexico.
Fresh. Yeah, they were so fresh. Like, they were buttery almost, and, you really felt like, okay, we're getting cheated in America. That and the limes. The limes were a whole lot more juicy, too.
Well, I feel like there's a difference when you go to Mexico from, cruise lines, because I've been on 2 cruises and both went to Mexico, but I've never been to Mexico just on a vacation. Yeah. So I feel like there's a difference because you could probably go to a resort off a cruise line and you probably don't get the full experience because, they tell you don't drink the water and you eat certain foods.
I don't do that in
whatever.
I don't. They have dirty water.
There's a lot they not doing in Memphis now.
Not a single lie I was told.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just shots fired early.
Early in the morning.
No, it's just a statement of fact.
Was not expecting.
I'm just saying that I don't have to go into another country to have places where I'm not going to drink the water. I'm just not going to drink the water.
You're 100% right on that one.
Yeah, no,
I'm
not trying to insult anybody. It's just true.
It's just we weren't expecting that.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about with the elbow.
No, I just look. If anything, I'm trying to say that's not that big of a deal though, because there are places here right down the road, 3 hours away that I don't drink water.
Hey, my boy came same foot I'm stomping the ground, same shoulder into that tackle right there, man. Hawk, cleats in the air.
They didn't see it coming.
On Memphis.
Didn't even see it.
should
Will
always see it
said,
coming.
I'll take the fine. You gonna get this blind
What,
shot
fine?
right.
Am I being fined?
No, you just peel back on
Okay.
somebody on kickoff return.
So I'm fine.
You cleaned them up on that one. No, I ain't even got my flag to throw at you on that one. I admire you for that one. That was so quick and easy.
You can tell. I have been drinking a lot of tap water recently, just in general, because
was good.
how often do you guys replace your Brita filter?
I was doing it about every month and a half. When I was
Month and a
using it.
half?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How long are you taking on your?
I've
I only
lived
have
this
the
far.
jug though.
Yeah, no, I did too.
You have the jug.
I have the
have
jug.
the jug,
It's been going on a year.
Oh, it's supposed to be on the box. It says 3 months, so I try to do probably. I don't get 3 months. I probably do like 4
3
or 5
months.
Yeah.
Hide the money, y'all. Goodness sakes. That's crazy.
Well, so you go on
3
Amazon,
months?
you buy a set of 2,
Okay.
and then you try to make that last at least 3 to 5 months.
Okay, well, now it's 5 months.
Yours
So
is
Ramon
fine.
started a month and a half.
Yeah.
You then went to 3, and now you're saying 5. 5 I can
5
deal
is
with.
pushing it.
It's
Why'd
been a
you-
while since
Sure.
I've had one though. Like
Okay.
a jug one. Like the one I
You
had
got
was
probably
an
the
older
nice
version.
fridge that gives you water from a glacier in Alaska that comes out of the fridge.
I do.
Yes, that's right. That's
No,
right.
my
Must be
filter,
nice.
my filter does.
Some of us have to be our own fridge, okay?
The filter that I use, listen, I lost the refrigerator. We had a nice KitchenAid, man, and we ended up having, like, it played out
Somebody
on us.
call you and say, is your refrigerator running? You better catch it. Said you lost a refrigerator. Did it run away? What are you talking about?
Listen, it was bad, is what I'm saying. So we ended up getting the Sub-Zero. The Sub-Zero costs,
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, if
a
we're going to
brand?
get one this time, we're not going.
Is that just a
off-brand.
freezer?
You never heard of a Sub-Zero brand?
I've heard of a Sub-Zero freezer, but I've not. Is that a brand?
Yeah, it's a brand.
I am a
Sub-Zero.
renter, sir. Why would I know about refrigerator brands?
I'm into the appliances,
I'm
especially
still
the
on the
good
20
ones.
side
Today
of
years
30,
old,
all right?
learning
I'm not
about this.
I'm not quite there
I'm
yet.
showing my past career.
I just got old enough to start looking out at rain and say, we needed this. All right, I'm not refrigerator brand old yet. I'll get there.
Sub-Zero, like refrigerator and stove tops.
You
and
could be making
everything.
that up, and I would have no.
Thermal.
Is this an
way to
industrial
tell you
fridge?
no.
It's nice.
I just looked it up. It looks like an industrial fridge. That
Okay.
you have at like a restaurant.
That's cool.
It's decent. It's all right.
So, all right,
Probably
back to the
freezes,
Brita
too.
filter thing. So, basically, when I did get the replacement one, I put it in the pitcher, and it never gave me a green light. It just always stayed red and flashing, but it did taste like purified water. Recently, I felt like I'm just drinking tap water.
Yeah.
So now I'm just drinking tap water.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't even put it in the filter.
You're
I'll
not
just
even trying no
get
more.
one of my stadium cups with ice because
Yeah.
again I am a male in my 20s, so I have about 6 or 7 stadium cups that I drink water out of because
doubt.
I'm a red-blooded, God-fearing American.
No doubt.
And I put ice in there and I'll just fill it up in the sink.
Do you do the sink now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
There's
if
nothing wrong with
listen, my Brita filter's gone this long that I might as well just go ahead and drink it out of the sink because that's pretty much all I'm doing to begin with.
that. Yeah, 100% fact.
Yeah.
There is a different one, though. It's like zero water. Like a filter is like a longer version of that. Like
It's like a
Hawk was telling-
cooler you put in the fridge,
in
right?
the fridge. Yeah, you could do
I might
that
need to look
version.
into
Like
that.
Hawk said, that one does last like 3 to 5 months or something like that on
I just have
a
a picture.
filter as well.
It's not Brita, but it's the Pure brand.
Pure. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
Pure.
I've got the Pure brand pitcher, and I change it every 3 to 5
Listen,
months.
these counties and cities
probably 5
work
months.
hard to make sure that you got clean, good drinking water, though, as well. So you're not wrong taking the tap well.
See, because we live in Nashville.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt
good.
about it.
I'm chilling.
The Memphis water is a no-go.
Absolutely would be a no-go. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not even a little bit.
You've seen that water
I
before.
have. Yeah,
no.
the muddy Mississippi is. I'm not sure if that's where their entire water source come from, but I get what you're saying.
And that just has to do with
Stereotype.
geography. That's it. That's all.
No doubt about it. I'm here for it. But yeah, most
Oh, wow,
people,
this is a big package. You can get like 6 in one order.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Wow.
Go treat yourself.
Where have I been?
Only thing I didn't like about the Brita stuff, though, and you got to do it with water filters as well. You got to run like a gallon out of it at a time before the first use and stuff. I mean,
That's probably why it always flashed red on me.
yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely. You got to run like a gallon through the filter before it actually
Okay.
activates, I think is what it is.
Good
because
to
it's
know.
got carbon in there. If I'm not
Good to
mistaken.
know.
I think I might have a cooler at the house that you can actually get as
Oh, no,
well.
it's okay.
You sure?
That's okay. I'll
Because
just get this pack of 6.
if I got it, I'll bring it.
It's like $20. This is
this
not even expensive.
This is like a gallon you can put in your fridge, though, and it's slender. So.
I have the big, like the huge pitcher.
Okay, all right. I'm just checking, making sure that you're hydrated out here. It's about to be summertime, Will.
That's part of my motivation here.
Is
trying to drink more water.
Listen, that is most definitely something we should all be doing. I try to bring like a big water bottle and finish another one throughout the day, and working out most definitely helps out a little bit more as well. So I'm here for it, man. Hydrate yourself. I just didn't know you were going to be this wild this early in the morning.
It's wild. I don't know. Oh, this could be here today. Amazon's crazy. The fact that you can just get things like I can sit here on a radio show and order a Brita filter, and it's going to be here by 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. Like, what are we talking about?
I can't wait till you get to a point in which you start looking at appliances inside of your house.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We were already talking about grills the other day. Now that I grill.
We did talk about
That's a
grills.
recent development.
But
I'm not going to wheel one up to my little patio.
I know. I also have a gas grill underneath my house, too, as well, if you ever need one. It's a Weber.
Oh.
It's really
sure,
nice.
That's what does.
No, I'm just saying, I do have one. I feel like I've offered it up before and nobody's taking it. And I got a lawnmower as well whenever you get a yard underneath.
Wow. Okay. Great. Thank you.
And I also have now those flame columns that you put on your back porch, the torches, the heat lamps and stuff like that.
Flame columns?
Yeah, it's like the propane heaters that you put up.
Sounds fun.
Oh, that you see at restaurants?
Yeah, but I got the glass one as well. Like, I'm not using them anymore like that. So those are 3 items if you guys want. Like, I'll just bring them to you.
That's
How are you going to?
Very kind of you.
What, in your truck?
I got a truck. Man, I'll use that truck.
All those things going to fit in your truck.
I can most definitely
in his truck, absolutely. That's the least of my concerns with
it. Now picking that bad boy up, that's going to be a problem.
So what are we going to do, like rock, paper, scissors for who gets what? Like,
no, seriously. I do have the grill if y'all want. It's gas. I know some people hate on gas. I love a gas grill, though. Can we stop hating on gas
That's
grills?
what I use in my building now.
gas grills.
Yeah. What's there to not like? I'm new to this world.
Some people are like, well, you gotta, hit the chimney stack and do your charcoals right and stuff like that. I'm like, I do that too, but I also enjoy flicking on the lighter and absolutely turning the gas grill on too. I don't get the propane taste out of it.
Okay. Am I about to get yelled at?
Nah, I doubt it.
No, but he's got a good point that I think you might want to hear.
Okay.
It's a great way to get me to not listen. 615-737-1045. Our number will go. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to break yet. DA in Nashville. What's up, DA?
Hey, guys. How are you doing? First time caller.
Great.
Love listening to the show.
Welcome in, DA. What took you so long?
Just driving into work, and I like listening to you guys.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Talking early gets
but
me.
Will got me going this morning.
Okay.
He made a comment about the water in Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis has some of the best quality drinking water in America. It comes from a sand aquifer. It doesn't come out of the Mississippi. So you might want to check your facts on that one, but I still love listening to you guys. And I just wanted to, I know the NBA's been giving Memphis a lot of hate too, but I just wanted to stand up for Memphis a little bit.
DA, here's my thing. Why does it taste so bad then? It tastes awful.
Well, I don't know.
That's my
problem. I think that it tastes pretty good, but it could be your taste buds, bud.
Oh, whoa, hey, wow. All right.
See you, DA. Isn't that I'm laughing?
It's some great quality drinking water.
Listen, if I even have to Google, is this water safe? It's probably not good water. It's probably not just my taste buds, DA. It's probably yours.
Let's go, DA. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, y'all have a great day. Really enjoy the show.
Thank you for the call.
I'm looking at this aquifer right now, the Memphis aquifer. It's confining layer. They got a Fort Pillow aquifer, confining layer again in the McNairy County, I'm guessing, aquifer too. They really out here like this. They got a self-purifying water system in
I promise you that if I Google search this and I see people also ask, is it safe to drink tap water in Memphis? It's not a me problem.
Let me
It is not a me problem.
Let me give you a little bit of this, okay? Groundwater in the mid-state. Shelby County, Tennessee is fortunate to get its drinking water supply from deep underground. The Memphis Aquifer, also known as Sparta Aquifer or Memphis Sand, is the primary water supply, with some wells pumping from the deep Fort Pillow Aquifer.
Okay.
Whew. If the land beneath us was cut southeast to northwest, you would get inside. You would get an inside look at the Mississippi embayment as shown in this diagram. I'm on Caesar.memphis.edu. Okay, this is a real thing. Appreciate
Somebody
you,
tell
DA.
Adam Silver and LeBron James.
Listen at that. I'm here for that. I'm here for this. DA, I have heard, I will say this, though, too. I'm going to laugh because it's funny and it was a great joke from you. But my Memphis folks are very protective of their water.
No, yeah, they're very
do say
sensitive
that.
about it. Very sensitive about it.
I've had group chat arguments about we got the best water in Tennessee. Like, they do believe that, though, for real. I will push back just a little bit for it. But
It just tastes like crap, so I don't think it's safe.
Just because it has minimal treatment to it, because it filters out the iron and the chlorine, the fluoride, the phosphate, doesn't make it taste good.
Okay.
Just because it filters it out doesn't make it taste
we found the end of it. 615-737-1045, our number live for the 1045 The Zone. Nope, Zone Sports. You just messed up my read. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Changes are coming to college football. We'll tell you about them next.
It's that time of the year, y'all. Love is in the air. It's time to hit a knee, my good friends. But I'm here to tell you, my friends at Genesis Diamonds are helping you celebrate the occasion with the most beautiful jewelry, the most dazzling diamonds, and the most gorgeous rings on the planet. Genesis has all the brands as well that you see online, from the top designers. No cookie cutter, mass-produced rings like you see at other places. A Genesis ring is distinctive. It's unique, handmade by the finest American craftsmen, designed by true artisans. So if you're getting engaged or maybe celebrating a special anniversary, don't settle for a plain ring. Get her a Genesis ring that she will be so proud to wear. The team at Genesis will make you feel so welcome, so comfortable. They are laid back, never pushing, not on commission as well. They are true experts who will help you with honest guidance and expert advice. If you got questions about diamonds, want to know the real scoop on lab-grown diamonds, if you want to avoid overpaying, Genesis will make sure you get educated every single time so you can make a smart decision. Genesis Diamonds, best selection, lowest prices, highest quality, strongest warranties, and a 5-star rated staff. And don't forget about the Rolex collection as well. It will blow your mind. Genesis Diamonds are located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Hour number one of your Tuesday morning, Ramon and Will, off and running. 615-737-1045, the number. At Ramon and Will on Twitter. So college football is about to start earlier in 2027. All those countdowns, all of the weeks that we sit and wait and twiddle our thumbs during July and August, well, we'll have to wait one less week. As the NCAA's Football Oversight Committee, Ramon, has proposed a standard start before Labor Day weekend that is expected to be approved in June. Under the proposal, the regular season would begin on the Thursday of what is now called Week 0 and still end on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Schools would have 14 weeks to schedule 12 games. This model would give teams 2 open dates and allow for flexibility for potential changes to the postseason. Coaches want 2 open weeks, according to ESPN's Heather Dinich, who wrote a big column yesterday about the upcoming adjustments to the calendar and to college football as a whole. You good with this? Moving the Week 0 to become Week 1?
They're already playing in it right now for the most part with a soft start. I don't have much of a pushback on it, especially considering if coaches all want the two open weeks, and you have the ability to be quite honest with you to stop the dead period because there's just a little bit of a gap in between. I feel like training camp and the start of the season though too. I got no real pushback on this one much at all.
So the reason why Week 0 exists is if you are playing, I believe it's an FCS team, Hawaii, or internationally. Because if you play Hawaii, then you get built in an extra bye week after that in order for travel.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep. So that's kind of the basis of it right now.
So I guess the real question, why is the schedule change for college a thing? Because for me, I don't see much of a push other than them moving it up for an expanded playoff series that they're planning on for the future, though. Like, that's the only thing that you're doing. You're allowing yourself to kind of extend the playoff if you add more teams to it, potentially.
Yep. Which is, I think, going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
The elimination of conference championship games as well is a part of this process, and just add more layers, add a bracket, basically, is what we're doing with this move up.
Well, it's yes, to answer your question, it's adding a round in the college football playoff and also trying to just get the season done more quickly. Coaches want the season done more quickly. Ryan Day is quoted in this from Heather Dinich saying, the break in between the last game and that first game for the bye teams and then the portal being open while the playoff is going on are 2 things we really have to get addressed. That's one of the biggest issues for me facing college football at the moment is the fact that you've got essentially free agency happening while your playoff is happening. In what other sport are you doing player acquisition for the next season and then also playing in your postseason?
I got an immediate answer. Well, not in your postseason, but baseball has that draft in the middle of the summer.
And that's the only thing. And now they at least pause play for that to where you're doing the draft. Yeah. And draft being one thing, because that's when the school year ends and when the college baseball season ends and things like that. But
and that season's so much longer as well. And those dudes just go play league ball somewhere else for the most part.
You're still, 3 months away from October baseball when you're having the MLB draft.
So I do agree with the idea of shortening or taking out some of the fluff. Like, okay, so in this, a lot of things have to be resolved or solved or laid out.
And I've got more in here from her yesterday.
That's what I was going to say. Initially, just before you go that far, I'm thinking, okay, well, what about the traditional bowl games, bowl seasons? Okay, where's that going to lay into this conversation? Will it revolve around the college football playoffs? The other part, if coaches are trying to shorten the season, what about their most coveted time of the season that they love, that second summer camp? Second training camp, basically. What about the winter development as well?
I don't think any of that really changes significantly.
It still, I think, involves the business side of it for teams that are not in the college football playoffs as well, though, too. Because, again, players will still be negotiating as far as the portal about to open up as well. When does that happen? Because I don't know if they can do the portal and also say there's still championship games or bracket to be played out for the college football playoffs. Or when will the portal
that's the point.
Open?
That's why they're trying to move it up. That way the portal opens in January.
So when is the
right after the season.
When is
National
it now?
championship, they want to get closer to New Year's Day.
New Year's Day?
That's the whole point.
I didn't see
Is
that coming.
give themselves a clean break to do the portal stuff in January. That way you are not actively looking for a new team while you are coaching your current team to try to win a championship.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
It also eliminates the ability for people like Lane Kiffin to kind of be forced to move in the middle of all of this. That way they're ready for the portal to open and recruit the portal, and then their current school has the ability to replace that coach and, again, get ready for the portal to open the second the national championship game ends.
And that would be closer to New Year's Day.
That would be the goal.
Okay.
That would be the goal. Army-Navy is played the second Saturday each December. If the playoff field expands to 24 teams, at least one more week of games would have to be added. So if conference championship games are eliminated, which would probably be the case with a 24-team playoff, and the season starts in week 0, the season could end on Thanksgiving weekend. That would free up the first Saturday in December for the Army-Navy game. And the playoff could start the following week.
That's December 5th of this year, just looking at it right
Yep.
now. And the college football playoffs will start the 12th, the week of the 12th.
So, yes.
Yeah,
it
week
would free
December.
up the first Saturday in December would be Army-Navy. The next week would be the playoff.
That's
You're moving everything up a week at that point. You also can't do the Army-Navy game the same week as the first round of the playoff, because if you're expanding the playoff to 24 teams, Army or Navy is going to make it every now
That's
and then.
Yeah.
Like, Navy would have been in strong contention last year to make the college football playoff. So the Big Ten's 24-team model has been gaining traction. Just disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting. I want
No,
to
it's
throw
not.
up reading
No,
this.
it's not.
Why? Why is this not disgusting?
Job security is what they're after at this point in time.
Do we really think that a 24-team playoff is going to help keep jobs for big-time coaches?
For some, yeah, because you can still hang your hat. Personally, I think, again, I don't fully agree with it, but as far as being able to retain your job and a standard of hanging a banner every now and then, yeah, I absolutely think it's going to be a necessary part of the game. There's too much change and at stake for teams not to have the ability to get in, though, too. I feel that way now, again, because it's this. We had a conversation yesterday about the state of the Vols. And we spoke about, okay, if you can hang your hat on saying I got in the 16-team playoff series.
I'm talking about 24.
I know, but even still, there are other coaches that are in that same boat that might just be slightly behind, or Vandy get in and Tennessee get in right behind them. Like, there's a lot that goes into the decision making about how do you retain your team. Again, the way I look at it is this somewhat solidifies a coach's ability to actually coach. If you only have a small window of teams that are able to get in, then it really deadens everything else around the game. I think you keep the quality up if you open up more, even of coaches. Not necessarily the teams. The teams that are bad going to get beat regardless. But I think the quality of coaches that are trying to stay employed and have some stability, this is where it plays a part in it to me. And yes, this is a participation trophy side of it.
Yes, it is.
I 100% agree with that as well. It is participation trophy to the fullest, Will.
I don't really think it affects job security. I think coaches who take advantage of the playoff and go on a run to the, Elite Eight or Final Four, I mean, yes, in that case, 100%. Mario Cristobal helped his job security by going from a fringe playoff team to competing for the national championship and being a couple yards away from winning the national championship.
True.
In that example, yes, you are 100% right. I also believe there will be a coach fired for only making the first round of the playoff because someone will keep going one and done. Because at that point, you are measuring your success at a 2014 playoff by just essentially being ranked by the end of the season. We've seen coaches fired for that. Gus Malzahn was run out of Auburn. Yeah. He was pretty consistently ranked between 20 to 25. He still got fired. Mm-hmm. Just because you have the ability to then go play, a top 5 team and get waxed in the first round. Because think about it, too. And this is the way I view it. Those teams are going to get blown out. So your lasting image of that season is not, hey, I played in the college football playoff. It's, no, I got blown out in a 24-team college football playoff. Think of the way for listeners out there who are on the other side of this, the way we view the Tennessee team that went to Ohio State and lost, and that's in a 12-team playoff, so this is not a great example. But the sour taste in our mouths, either walking out of that stadium or just thinking about how far away we still were from really competing with the national champion. Yeah. And granted, we weren't the only ones because Oregon had the same thing happen in the Rose Bowl. But in a 24-team playoff, there are going to be so many teams so far from actually competing for a championship. This is just not a sport where there is enough parity from 1 to 24 of teams that could win the national title to expand it and give more seats at the table to teams who are basically just making money. That's the only thing they're really there to do.
That's fair. But again, it to me, I think it still boils down to just a smidge of stability, the opportunities that you also have your team still in competitive mode. I think that's still
but competitive to do what?
The results, that the Vols had against Ohio State, not what you see. I think it also raises the floor or raises the mind of coaches where they have to start raising the floor on what's going to be good and acceptable moving forward, though, too. I would say this, not directly after it happened because Tim Banks' defense was nice that year, but you look at the situation in which now Coach Heupel is trying to find ways to make sure his team is more hardened. He went out and got a new defensive coordinator as well. What happened last year with Nico as far as him pulling out of the spring game and having to go find a quarterback, I think the Vols would have been in a better situation had Nico still been here in Knoxville. And you also...
Interesting point.
Nico got supported well. I think the appropriate growth would have lended itself a better situation than it is right now at UCLA. I genuinely do think that if we believe Heupel with a quarterback in 2 years in the system does eventually get better. That part of it, I'll stand by that one. But it does to me, I think, to your point about a high D1 school like Tennessee versus a high D1 school against Ohio State. You do see the differences in it, and you adjust and you manage from that point moving forward. The point of it is, to me, is when you give an opportunity to get into the playoffs, it is the cream of the crop. You're going to run into somebody. And at that point, you decide as a university, the chancellors, ADs, and everybody else, is this coach going to take us to a next step? If it's 1 year, 2 years, I think right now, Heupel's seat is medium, not boiling, but I said a 4 out of 10.
Put it at medium.
I put a 4 out of 10 with the expectations of having to push the envelope of competing at that level. I just think it raises the stakes a little bit more if you get an opportunity to see where you are in the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
they're going to be blowouts.
I'm never, of course. But again, that's exactly my point. There are blowouts in a 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of circumstances that say, oh, let's get more teams.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Because again, last year, first round games, 16 or the 10 versus or 10 to 24 would have played in the first round. Georgia Tech at Notre Dame, North Texas at Miami, Navy at Alabama, Arizona at BYU, Virginia at Vandy, James Madison at Texas, Michigan at Utah, Tulane at USC.
Line them up and slaughter them. I don't care. Yeah. But here's the thing. Notre Dame versus Alabama in the national championship. That was the best of the best right there in the old ways of doing things. And Alabama
those
still
ways are over
Notre Dame.
because Nick Saban's gone and his ability to acquire talent and just stockpile it is also gone.
But it still stands that blowouts can happen no matter the era.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that that's going to happen less now in the national championship game, because you are not going to have that much parity between the best team and the best Alabama teams and the best Kirby Smart teams to everyone else of the sport.
Well, right now, I think that's spread out in general anyway. Though,
it has spread out, but not enough for 24 teams to play in the postseason.
We're going to watch it regardless.
Oh, well, of course. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. That is not, and that I think is a very short-sighted way of making decisions in this sport, saying people will watch it. Because I think there is a long-term impact of when people watch a certain amount of 30-point games and games that just have nothing to do with actually playing the national championship. And when you have so few upsets, I mean, we're going to watch the college basketball tournament, but look at the way people have complained. Again, I'm not putting myself on this boat, but the way people have complained the last 2 years, oh man, March Madness just isn't what it used to be. There was just so many, just no upsets anymore in the first two rounds. Like, that's going to happen for college football, too.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. People still fill the stadiums for UT versus ETSU.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But that's different. That's a game on campus.
My point
is a cheaper game for a lot of the fan base to go to because they can't afford to go to pay $300 tickets for Alabama or for Georgia. Like, there's going to be a place for on-campus regular season football games. I want those games to matter more.
Yeah, I'm 100% there with you, but given the opportunity to keep the athletes engaged and coaches in stable positions as head coaches because of the expanded playoffs, I'll ride with that one.
That's just where we have the game. We just have a fundamental disagreement.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I don't think job security really gets impacted by this.
But we all complain about stability in college coaches, though, too. Like, if we do shrink or don't expand this college football playoffs, the exchanging of we want one of those, like that's what everybody's asking for right now with the college football playoffs. We want one of those. Vanderbilt was clamoring for one of those spots this past year. Yeah. They would have gotten it if there was a 16-team playoff, though.
Would have played Virginia in the first round. Vandy is the example of the kind of team that benefits from this, who gets a seat at the table that they haven't had a seat at the past.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Vandy is the beneficiary of this, a team that is always going to struggle to be in the top 12, but could definitely routinely be in the top 24. I just think there are programs like Tennessee. I brought up Auburn again, who ran Gus Malzahn out of town for only being 8-4. I mean, think of Philip Fulmer.
No doubt.
But one down year, Philip Fulmer in Tennessee would have consistently been in a 24-team college football playoff. Mm-hmm. How many of those teams would have gone on a run that would have kept his job? I don't know.
07.
Maybe.
In a situation.
But at the end of the day, what happens when you keep losing in the first round?
I mean,
then I think we're just having the same conversations. Like programs like Michigan, who would have been seated 18th. Programs but Tennessee.
I do think this, though, too. The differences is I feel like the college celebration, the theatrics, the pageantry is a whole lot different. So no matter where you go as far as like Michigan or Tennessee or Vanderbilt or Georgia Tech, the fans are going and want to go see it. They're going to want to be a part of it.
A lot of empty seats in the playoff last year.
And you know what? They'll adjust after that if that's the case. But as far as your fan base wanting to see your team be in the show, everybody wants to see their team be in the show.
I think a bigger playoff that requires you to go to more games is worse for the fan.
You think it's worse for the fan?
Because you're putting a significant strain financially on. If I want to go to all the games of the playoff,
no doubt.
I'm talking about a $1,500 commitment for hotels and airfare and tickets to go to every game of the playoff.
And somehow, some way, still get bought up, though.
Not as I mean, there are a lot of empty seats last year.
I don't know
in the Orange Bowl for Oregon, Texas Tech. That's going to be the new norm.
Where was it at?
Miami, Orange Bowl.
It was in
Oregon,
Miami?
Texas Tech.
Yeah, that one.
It's going to happen more.
I get that one. Regionally, they might have to find a different pathway.
I mean, this is going to happen. I would much rather it see go to 16 teams.
Than 24.
Much rather it see go to 16. 16 is too watered down. I think 12 is a fine number. I think 12 is a perfectly fine number because all we're really going to be doing is arguing about these flawed Power 4 teams, really Power 2 teams that haven't really earned it. Like last season, here's the other way I think of it. If Tennessee, let's say, beats Vanderbilt or Oklahoma and goes 9-3, Tennessee would have won every game it was a favorite in and lost one game as an underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Would they really have earned postseason play by just winning every game they were a favorite in and losing one they were a favorite in?
I just look at it like it's loopholes through taxes. If it's allowed, then you take advantage.
That's part of the fundamental difference we have of
but here.
That's not a team that should earn the right to play for a national title. Tennessee did not earn the right to play for a national title last year.
So you look at it this way. I look at it this way. We've, as of late, been having the same conversation about who's really in it when it boils down to to college.
We're going to do that segment here in a week or two of how many teams could win the national title this year.
No doubt. And that, to me, is where this at least expands the conversation as to, man, they could get hot. You just never know. Like it's
either up with that 100%.
It's either it's too much with the 24 or it's too less when it's going to be Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU, Michigan.
Yep.
Like that also is, or Oregon. That also is what I don't like about it as well. Like, is that
The fact
part
that
for
it's
me?
always just the same teams?
It's always just the same teams.
Okay,
so
well,
it's either just the top
sure.
end
But here's the thing.
or it's too watered.
If you expand the playoff and you give those teams a chance to have a mulligan, Ohio State doesn't win the national title a couple years ago in a 14 playoff.
Absolutely.
So it was the same team as always because the playoff was expanded. That doesn't mean that new teams are going to win the national title, with the exception, of course, of Indiana, who just did it. Indiana has broken hundreds of trends around this sport. I tend to think, though, that long-term, the Ohio States of the world are just going to win more titles because they're still more talented than everyone.
Why do we go more than 4 then?
In order to flatten some of that curve and feel like we were giving teams the ability with bigger conferences and tougher schedules to still have a little bit of grace, A, and B, say that NIL has allowed us to have more good teams that could win the national title. The thing is, I just think that's such a slippery slope that 12 is plenty.
No doubt.
I don't think we need more than 12.
Well,
I think we need to reestablish which 12 teams make it in. We got to get a break.
It's the same story, song and dance, then, if that's the case.
Right. I just think we've hit the number. I think we've watered it down the perfect amount right now.
I'll take 25.
615-737-1045, our number. Hoops and hockey results. Playoffs continuing. The Thunder did something that's not been done since 2017 last night. We'll tell you about it next. What's up? It's Will Boulding. Are you dealing with flickering lights, faulty outlets, or a circuit that won't stay on at home? Lee Company has your back. Lee Company's award-winning team of electricians handle it all, from routine repairs and fixture upgrades to whole home generators. Available 24/7, keep your home efficient and safe by contacting Lee Company online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for professional electrical service from the business that has been in business for over 80 years here in Middle Tennessee. Lee Company's been trusted since 1944. They're available 24/7, and they've got 15 community locations in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia. With over 1,800 team members, when you head online and you book that appointment with Lee Company, you know that somebody's going to quickly be out there to help you out. So make sure everything's working the way that it's supposed to, including those flickering lights or faulty outlets that just don't seem to be working. Check them out online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Wrapping up hour number 1 on your Tuesday morning at Ramon Will on Twitter. 615-737-1045. Thunder 115, Lakers 110. Last night, Ramon, the Oklahoma City Thunder became the first defending champions since LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers in 2017 to sweep the first 2 series of the playoffs. Yeah. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Hamilton Heights own from Chattanooga, Tennessee, scored 9 of his series-high 35 points in the fourth quarter, helping send the Lakers into a very interesting summer. There's speculation on LeBron James, who had 24 and 12. There is a lot to sort through, but one thing's for sure, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a wagon.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. They are good. Shai, SGA is one of the best out, if not the best, playing right now in the game. Their team is full of monsters as well. They got height, they got size, they got skill, they got shooters, they got defense. And if you listen to a lot of the NBA community, they also got the refs. That's been a hot conversation surrounding Oklahoma City Thunder is they get the most whistles. And I actually heard somebody break that down the other day. It was like, well, you know, when teams win the championship, they're defending champs. Like they always get the whistle. Like that's some of the spoils of it, especially when you got the best player in the league, if not just one of the best players in the league in general. They got stars at every single position when you look at what they're capable of, man. From Chet to SGA, all the way up and down this group. And when you watch them, they're efficient. When you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he can shoot it while being contested. He can drive, he can dish it. And not just that, I mean, they got a good organization for a small market team in Oklahoma City. This is what I think a lot of people want, but legitimately, the Lakers just weren't good enough. LeBron held it together as much as he possibly could. He didn't get much out of what's his name anyway, his big DeAndre Ayton. In general, I know a lot of people are frying him on social media, like, when are you going to step up and do something? A lot of the blame from most people is going to go towards LeBron James on this one. But I look at this situation as like LeBron is what held this together. He doesn't have Luka. That team got some talent, not the best talent, to be pushing it for a NBA championship, and it just wasn't enough. This ain't the season I don't think they wanted to have, and now LeBron got to make a decision if he wants to go somewhere else. Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks have allowed conversation to be opened up about Giannis Antetokounmpo. So there could be speculation of him going to Golden State. He could go to the Lakers. LeBron could team up with him, whatever he wants to do moving forward now. There's a lot of moving parts right now. I'm sure they're going to have to give up a house, a home, and a couple of kids to get Giannis. But business is open for Giannis Antetokounmpo to leave out of Milwaukee, which I think he wants. Him going to a world market, L.A., New York, Miami, Dallas, who knows? But that's got to be in his future moving forward right now.
Well, you just know that one of those kids won't be LeBron's kid, because I imagine he's a package deal. But you know, other than that,
this is true.
A lot of options to make the deal happen.
I do wonder what will be the case right there. What does he do with Bron if Bron does choose to go back to Cleveland, which I doubt at this point. I think Cleveland's beyond it.
Cleveland again? Is that a possibility?
I think it's beyond it at this point.
Okay.
But I know they've joked and had, side conversations on TV networks about LeBron and Steph doing something. Golden State also ended up getting back Steve Kerr to a 2-year extension.
I did see that.
A lot of people didn't see that happening as well. They thought it was going to be it for him.
The sicko in me was hoping that he would retire. That way the Warriors could hire Todd Golden. And then Florida would have to do a search in May.
That would be fascinating. But the NBA is going to be interesting. Philly got to figure out what they are as a team, too. Boston Celtics, they need a little bit more help, and you can never count out anything that Miami chooses to do. That could be another place that Giannis could go to, Miami.
Two teams that are a trivia question played last night in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, the Avalanche and the Wild. 5-2 win for Colorado. Two teams that are the classic trivia question of name every team with a nickname that doesn't end in S in U.S. pro sports. That's two of them.
That's two of them?
Avalanche and Wild. Most of them are just weather-based, like the lightning and the heat.
That's real.
Things like that. Avalanche goals from 5 different players, get a 5-2 win in Game 4, taking a 3-1 series lead. On the brink of their first Western Conference Finals appearance since 2022. Minnesota won 5-1 in Game 3. That led Jared Bednar, the Avs coach, to change goaltenders. Went with a different choice in net. went with Mackenzie Blackwood over Scott Wedgwood on Monday night. Blackwood stopped 12 of the 13 shots he faced in Game 3 in relief of Wedgwood, who allowed 3 goals on only 12 shots. So change in net, Avalanche up 3-1.
Shout out to the Woods brothers, man. Blackwood and Ravenwood. Who was his last?
Wedgwood. Close, though.
Yeah.
You got the spirit, though.
I got the spirit. We're rolling.
615-737-1045, our number. On 3 ranked the top 10 college basketball transfer portal winners. Tennessee and Vanderbilt both on the list. We'll tell you where next. Will Bowling, carpet is the number 1 air filter inside your home, filtering out those airborne particulates, the pollen, the bacteria. The most important fact to understand, though, about carpet, it filters out the bad stuff, but you have to keep your filter clean. That's where ZeroRes comes in. They're offering you 3 carpeted rooms plus a hallway for $139. The right way to clean, the best carpet cleaner that's going to take care of your home and just make you feel so much more at ease, knowing that you've gotten that deep clean. ZeroRes gives you a smarter, lasting clean. There are no harsh chemicals, no soap residue, faster dry times, and everything's going to stay cleaner longer. The Google reviews, the Facebook reviews, they're glowing when people talk about ZeroRes. You can find out more by giving them a call at 615-535-9376, or you can book online at ZeroResNashville.com. That's 615-535-9376. ZeroRes. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. And don't forget to ask about their air duct cleaning.
7:03. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs round 2 Monday night. Donovan Mitchell scored 43 points as the Cavaliers tied the series up 2 games apiece with the Detroit Pistons after a 112-103 win. Game 5 moves back to Detroit on Wednesday night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 35 points as the Thunder complete the 4-0 series sweep over LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers with a 115-110 win last night. The Thunder now await the winner of the Timberwolves and Spurs, who have Game 5 tonight in San Antonio. Their series tied 2 games apiece. NHL playoffs last night. The Avalanche beat the Wild 5-2, and they moved to a 3-1 series lead and now 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals. And more NFL schedule releases as this morning, the Denver Broncos will take on the Kansas City Chiefs Week 1 Monday Night Football, but the location of the game has yet to be determined. It was announced yesterday the Buffalo Bills will host the Detroit Lions Week 2 of Thursday Night Football. Be the Bills debut in their new Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Also, the Cowboys will host the Eagles Thanksgiving Day, November 26th at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. The full schedule released is coming up Thursday on the 26th. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2 on this Tuesday morning edition of Ramon and Will. A beautiful morning in Nashville. And let's be honest, if you woke up in Nashville, or if you just woke up at all, you're having a beautiful morning. 615-737-1045 is our number. Yesterday we looked at the Titans defense position by position on the roster, told you where the Titans are most improved, and maybe one spot where they're not quite as good as they were in September. We'll do the same for the offense this morning. Obviously, wide receiver is where they've gotten the most better, but how do the rest of the position groups on offense compare to who the Titans had in September of 2025? Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that coming up here in 15 minutes. Stream it live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins behind the glass. On threes, Joe Tipton. Ramon ranked the top 10 college basketball transfer portal winners by additions.
Yeah.
He says Tennessee is the 4th biggest winner in the transfer portal in terms of the biggest additions made, saying in the past, Rick Barnes' teams have been very defense-oriented. This year's roster will look very different, as the Vols clearly prioritize scoring and elite offensive players. The guard/perimeter players Tennessee is bringing in combined to average over 85 points per game last season at their previous schools. Barnes is nearing the end of his career, and it's obvious the administration has poured significant financial backing in hopes of the Vols reaching their first ever Final Four. He has Louisville, Texas, and Indiana as teams with better transfer portal hauls than Tennessee.
Oh, not a bad place to be at for the Vols, man, especially with a season of a coach as Rick Barnes is. Everybody's, of course, speaking about the scoring side of this transfer portal class, and I absolutely love that for Rick Barnes. The ability to go get guys that are shooters, known scorers, can go 5 out, 5 flat, and go and get a bucket down the paint. Pass out to somebody that can shoot from behind the three-point line, or just be in a position where you don't have lulls in which you don't score. That, to me, was probably one of the most frustrating parts of watching the men's basketball team this year up in Knoxville, is just who's going to score. Or I don't think in this situation they'll be afraid to just pull the trigger at any point in time. I felt last year's team did. They went for the extra pass. It'll be fascinating to see how freely Coach Barnes allowed this group to be. I brought up the scoring part because that is going to be the calling card for this team that everybody speaks of. But can you imagine if this group of scorers, facilitators of points, can play defense the way Coach Barnes wants them to as well? Mm-hmm. That's where, to me, being ranked 4th is probably – it could push this group over the top. Now, I know Florida's going to be strong. Michigan went out and did their thing as well. And just the Blue Bloods are going to always compete. But Tennessee's goals as far as getting to this Final Four – is very much in their control, I feel like, right now.
I think so, and I think you have a coach in Rick Barnes who has proven over time that him and his staff have as good of an eye for talent in the transfer portal as anyone in this sport. Now the question is, can you get a couple of those guys in the same cycle? Can you go find multiple Dalton Connect level value players? Not to say that everyone's going to have a Dalton Connect level impact, but can you find multiple splash players? And I remember the tweet that we talked about when originally these first few guys are being added was Rick Barnes's pitch is come be Dalton Connect. The thing is, he's giving that pitch to like 3 or 4 different guys. Now, ultimately, Juke Harris is the one who's going to carry that level of expectation and has that skill set of, I'm going to get my own shot clock winding down, clock in the final 10 seconds. I'm the one that's taking it to the rim and going up to try to get mine.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that you do have the option of Jalen Harrelson being a go-to guy in a critical moment. You have the ability to play the matchup game a little bit and say that, well, if I feel like I'm playing a team with 2 really good perimeter defenders who are long-limbed defensive wings, they're going to put their best guy on Juke Harris, who's not guarding Jalen Harrelson now. And that was a problem for Tennessee last year, were teams that had the length to affect Nate Amen.
Yeah.
Tyler Nickel at Vanderbilt did a really good job guarding Nate Amen when he was out there, especially when Nate wasn't at 100% and couldn't be as physical or go as strong to the basket. Well, what happens now when you have 2 longer players like that who are athletes who can take you off the bounce that you've got to guard? Who do you put your best guy on? Probably Juke Harris.
Yeah.
Jalen Harrelson may really benefit from that. So that's, I think, the interesting thing for Tennessee is Rick Barnes has proven he can bring guys together and teach them how to defend and teach team defense in a way that not a lot of other coaches can in the sport, aside from him and maybe Ralph Sampson being the other one, or Kelvin Sampson at Houston. But I'm excited. There's nothing that's going to dampen my excitement. Quite honestly, I'm surprised 4 is the spot they're at because I have a hard time believing anybody has done a better job in the transfer portal than Tennessee has.
I'll throw this out there, too, just because we're speaking of the portal, speaking of the Vols as well, and just classes. Coach Barnes has shown he's been able to go find the guy or guys, as you mentioned, like from first rounders to Chaz Lanier, even this year being on the playoff roster with the Detroit Pistons as well. He's answered the call each and every year as far as putting guys in. So his reputation kind of speaks for itself. For this question or situation I'm going to bring up to you kind of answers itself as well. When we looked at Coach Barnes last year and that roster, either he asked guys to leave or guys choose to leave to go to better pastures, whether it be Missouri, Texas A&M, Michigan, they landed all at other places and good places as well for all the transfers that left out. And we had questions about Coach Barnes. Will he close out on an elite class? Can he go get the big-time guard? And he did with Juke Harris. The question that I present and the conversation, I guess, before we go to break is just this, though. Was it money or was it reputation that got this class together? Because I look at that and we had we had that conversation yesterday about going into that next tier. We feel as Vols fans and basketball watchers that this team could take Rick Barnes to that next tier.
100%.
Is football that much? Is it that harder to get to that next tier? Is my point, because he was able to close out Juke Harris, the number one or one of the top guards in this transfer portal, and we as a football team, the Vols have had a hard time closing out the elites, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's look at the levels of investment. On3 put out that piece a week ago talking about the teams that are around $20 million in terms of overall rosters.
Basketball
teams.
Yeah.
Tennessee was one of them. Texas was another one of them. That's the top of the market in terms of overall roster spend, reportedly, in college basketball. Tennessee is at the top of that market, spending around $20 million.
Yep.
The top of the football transfer portal market is closer to $40 million.
Over or 50?
I think this year it's around 40 from what's been reported.
Okay.
Tennessee's not spending close to $40 million on their football roster. To me, they are giving Rick Barnes a more significant level of investment because he is near the end of his career and they're giving him one last roll of the dice. This may be it. I have no inside knowledge on that, just reading the tea leaves. It feels to me like they know it's either a year or two more, and that's it. Let's go all in, chips to the middle. Yeah. If I'm Josh Heupel, am I looking around saying, no, wait a minute, where's mine?
Yes.
Do I need to threaten retirement to get my top level of investment? And it's not the same dollar amount, to be fair. I mean, it's double for a championship level, quote unquote, championship level football roster than it is for basketball. But I also think there's just less risk when it comes to building a really good basketball class for a coach that has proven he can find a way to build a contender with transfers.
Fair. All very fair in everything that you said.
But answer your question, yes. Basketball's been given more resources to compete than football has.
So it's
for this cycle specifically.
It's two issues I have with it. Gosh, we're up against the break again. But it's this real quick for me then, Will. It is, okay, football is a sport that butters each piece of bread on campus. The more you pour into it, the more you might get back on the back end of it, either through recruiting, notoriety, sales, et cetera, et cetera. Adidas is coming back to Knoxville a good bit because of football as well. It is the flagship for college football as far as Adidas goes. There is that part of it to me. So where's the buy-in, especially if you were serious? Josh Heupel did make it to the college football playoffs, got blasted, but we made it. He has that underneath him. So there's some ability, there's some level of credit. He's beaten Bama. He's beaten Florida. He's checked the boxes on all of these. In the swamp as well. All right, and got Bama twice. He's got draft picks, first rounders, all under his belt. So is that part of it? Okay, well, why aren't you? Why aren't the Vols going to be a serious spender when it comes down to putting $40 million into a roster if you're really trying to win? So just a blanket question. We can get to it later in the summer if we want to as well. It just makes me question it, just looking at the basketball side. Then the other side, though, too, is are we living in a false reality just slightly as a school, as an institution? Because it's very hard to push and live in everything schools, or do you have to pick and choose which years you're going to pour into the everything part of the sports, though?
Right.
It's next year football's opportunity and time to spend $40 million, because immediately when Lane went to Baton Rouge, they gave him everything that he wanted, and now everybody's clamoring to watch what they do. The same thing goes for Texas as well.
And I would say, too, on the other side of it.
If we're serious.
Yeah, on the other side of it, they tried to spend millions on Sam Levitt, and they couldn't close.
Why?
Sam Levitt made a different decision. I mean, I think they had I think they had an offer from what we know that was competitive for Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt. He ended up choosing LSU. Just because they didn't spend $40 million doesn't mean they may have had more available to them and just couldn't close. Because at the end of the day, what we also know is that when everyone has money, relationships matter again, and just your ability as a recruiter,
no doubt,
to get a deal over the line. That matters more than it used to.
My thing is, if it takes money to actually win in college sports, especially on the football side, then we can't fall on the same conversation and everybody go to Indiana and say, hey, Kurt Signetti did it. Like, coaching is hard. You got to be, he rolled a God tier level of coaching this year. GAWD, we're not going to disrespect God here. Or God tier level of coaching this year and perfection with what he had going on. Not everybody can say that, and that's where I'm asking the question, or at least when you look at what Coach Barnes has done in the portal. He actually closed. Not saying that Heupel can't, but you do have to ask the question. Where's the extra money then if we are really trying to be a national championship team? That's all.
I'd say, too, it's not just Heupel. It's not just Barnes, it's their staffs.
No doubt.
Rick Barnes will be the first one to tell you that when you talk to him. He's like, no, my staff does a good job finding guys. That way I can come in and just kind of close and get it over the line. Coming up, where is the Titans offense better or worse than it was in September? We'll talk about it next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, nobody likes dealing with those issues at all, whether it be your plumbing, your HVAC, or electrical. I'm not sure if you watched the weather this weekend, but we're supposed to get a little bit warmer weather, which means we'll be using those HVAC systems probably in overtime just to cool down the house. We should get some 90s this weekend. It'll be a good time to get Hiller over to do a little just prevention of issues around your HVAC system. If you haven't done that, they also have that program as well. When you do have these issues, most of the time you don't know what it would cost you if it get fixed, right? If somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. I do know this because I use Hiller. When you call them, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly, and the price you told is the price that you will actually pay. They believe in this, man. 100% satisfaction every single time they come to your house. Their motto is happy you'll be or the service is free. If you're not satisfied with the work that they've done, they will do all they can to fix it or simply just hand you your money back. That's just how they do business, man. Very good group, man. I trust them. They've been in my house numerous times with issues, and they fix them every single time. To learn more about Hiller, simply head over to happyhiller.com.
Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045. Open for your feedback. Where are the Titans most improved on offense? I feel like the number one place, as far as just position groups overall are concerned, where they're better is obvious, right? Ramon, it's wide receiver.
Easily.
Huge step forward there. But the rest of those position groups, I think there is a discussion to be had. Mm-hmm. So we'll give credit where credit's due. Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports wrote a couple of articles over the weekend about where the Titans are better, the same, or maybe a little bit worse compared to their roster in September of 2025. He did it with defense. We talked about that yesterday. And then with offense as well. At wide receiver in September of 2025, your wide receiver 1 then is now wide receiver 3, 2B, 1B. At the very least, he's not 1A. Yeah. And that's Calvin Ridley. Tyler Lockett was wide receiver 2 last September.
Yes, he was.
Van Jefferson, Elikiah Manor, Chimere DK, Bryce Oliver. Your list of wide receivers, your group of wide receivers. Right now, you've got Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Elikiah Manor, Chimere DK, Bryce Oliver. That's not bad. Really not bad.
No.
And it has got to be the most improved position on offense.
It does, especially when you go high in the first round to go get your guy as well. I'll take those odds right there of saying, hey, we're pushing the envelope on trying to make our receiving core more of a threat. How much better they get, that's to be determined during the season. My point of it all is this: is you've added bodies, you've added talent, you've poured money in as far as free agency goes. You even made it work with Calvin Ridley as well too. And again, I continue to bring that up because the guy, of course, chose, I would think, less money to come back to kind of prove himself here. It's a sense of pride and ego in that as well, but also wanting to be here and work with Cam. I think we look at their relationship that they had last year and expected that one to bloom, just blossom a whole lot more than it did. And Calvin had an injury. He understood that he's probably better suited here in this offense with this team with Brian Dable that will help him and also help Cam. Heck, the wide receivers and athletes, they last a whole lot longer than, I think, players in the early 2000s and 90s. And I feel like we got to judge Calvin that way as well. He can mess around and have a better season this year. I don't know what numbers those are going to be, but Calvin still, if he catches the ball, is a threat to defenses in the NFL, especially with the two other guys that'll be surrounding him. And those two guys I mean by Carnell and Wan'Dale.
You brought up the qualifier, though. He's got to catch it.
No doubt. He does.
There were a lot of plays last year that probably didn't go down as drops that for a wide receiver 1 are drops.
Yeah.
Like, there were a lot of passes that hit him in the hands last year that he's got to bring in when he was healthy.
He does. That consistency has to be there. It's just, you don't want to see him in a situation either he's being covered by somebody and the ball getting smacked out of his hand, which those dudes are paid on the other side as well. You just want to go see him win. If Cam is on time and the ball is in his vicinity, a true one is bringing those in more times than not. And he had more of these where he's clapping his hands after the play instead of big plays down the field. That is something that you want to see back on his highlight reel this year. I've seen it time and time again. I've had this moments too. When you have a bad year, like the get back is much more real. And it kind of resets your mindset and makes you a little bit hungry too. So I'm hoping that's for him moving forward.
There could be a bounce back or Father Time might just win.
Yeah.
We'll see this late in his career.
But you know what's even better
Father
about
Time's undefeated.
This year though too is the floor that's being raised in this group. Last year we were, and I know it's a storyline. We were having conversations again about Mason Kinsey versus Xavier Restrepo. We've had this conversation numerous times this year, and no disrespect to those guys, but legitimately you're trying to find people who are going to be contenders for you on each and every Sunday. And those two dudes right there who are on the back end of the roster shouldn't be the main conversation time and time again unless they warrant themselves to be a part of that conversation by making plays, and those dudes hadn't yet. I look towards Carnell, who's inherited a lot of praise because of the draft pick he is. Wan'Dale, who's been consistent, and again, I look at a guy like Calvin, and hopefully he has the mindset to have a bounce-back year.
Hope so. Need him to, for sure.
Quarterback needs it.
This year, it won't be Restrepo versus Kinsey. It'll be Restrepo versus Osborne versus Montgomery.
Versus Oliver? No, not same position.
I'd say Oliver, too.
Oliver's in that conversation.
There are plenty of people that will discount him just because he is mainly a special teamer, but there's value in being a really good special teamer, and he is a good gunner.
You mentioned KJ Osborne on this team, though, as well. Like, that's another veteran that has an opportunity to do something.
Yeah. I mean, he has opportunity, I think, to make the team. I don't know how impactful he'd be to help them win on Sundays. But, yeah, he's got a chance to make the team for sure.
He's been more consistent than the threes they've had on this team as of late. I ain't going to say as consistent. His last 2 years hadn't been much of nothing.
Right. Not as much recently.
Yeah, not much.
What's the next most improved position on this roster?
In my personal opinion, offensively, I'd probably go tight end.
Really?
Yeah, just looking at the additions.
Even without Chig?
Even without Chig, yeah.
It's their leading receiver last year. He's gone.
You don't go into this situation, in my personal opinion. Chig, to me, is a replaceable type. Like, he was the best of a bad team last year, if we can be honest. He was more clutch than he was anything else because what else did they have here? 2 rookie wide receivers and him.
And a rookie tight end, Gunnar Helm.
And a rookie tight end and Gunnar Helm. He had to go eat, and I'm happy for him. He got over $7 million a year to go to the Commanders. I think it's the tight end position, especially when you look at Daniel Bellinger being a part of it, the extension of Gunnar Helm going into his second year. Those 2 dudes right there in general, to me, on top of the other bodies that they've had here on the roster for the last few years. Anyway, those 2 being a part of it, to me, settles the tight end position. Bellinger and Helm. I think that's probably the second best position offensively.
I think the Titans have a lot of potential at tight end, but I'm not ready to go there quite yet on them being that much better at that group, considering Gunnar Helm just had 357 yards last year.
For sure.
I mean, on paper, didn't have a major impact. He did catch 44 of the 55 targets that he had. He showed he was a sure-handed wide receiver and showed you flashes of being really good and having a lot of potential. I'd say they're about the same at tight end.
Yeah.
Just because I think you are projecting. You are asking Gunnar Helm to do something he's not had to do before. Be a number one. Attract that level of attention on every given play. Their September 2025 group was Chigakonko, Gunnar Helm, David Martin Robinson. Now that room looks like Gunnar Helm, Daniel Bellinger, and Kylan Granson. I'd say Bellinger and Granson, and Easton Freeze brings up this point, they're floor raisers. You know what they are. Proven commodities. Kylan Granson, an established blocking tight end in this league, and Daniel Bellinger, a better fit for this system. To me, it's not necessarily that they're better or worse. It's just kind of different.
It just raises it up, as you said.
This scheme is going to ask different things of their tight ends under Brian Dable.
You expect much out of the rookie, Jaren Kanak?
I mean, define much. Like, I think the first thing, as far as this draft class is concerned, the number one objective before I look at expectations for a 7th-round pick is make the team.
Fair. With the vets that he have in front of him, that's his first task. I rolled you there.
Because if he's brought in as a 4th tight end, you are essentially bringing him in as a special teamer who is tight end in name only, as much as you are bringing him in to catch passes and just play the tight end position. Like, he's a special teamer who is classified as a tight end.
I just look at his abilities and athleticism and wonder if they'll use him the way Juszczyk is used out in San Francisco with the motions.
That would be fun.
That's the only vision.
He's got a lot of athletic potential for someone who's only played 1 year of offense.
Very much
as
so.
a college football player.
And I think that's why he was drafted. You'll see. Yeah, we'll see in camp.
I'd say quarterback's the second most improved spot behind wide receiver.
I didn't necessarily think of the quarterback position, though, in general. I almost feel like you got to keep that one out of this conversation of improvement because that's a steady spot with no additions.
I think for the sake of conversation, I mean, Cam Ward's not the same guy he was in September of 2025. So he's better. I think Mitch Trubisky's an upgrade on Brandon Allen. And still have Will Levis.
I kind of want
for now.
Kind of want to pump the brakes a little bit on Cam because we've yet to see this version of him.
What do you mean?
As far as
he got better last year.
Yeah, he did get better. I'm talking about going into this 26th season. Like, what does better look like for him yet is the only question. Like, when I thought about this list, I was thinking of the additions, projection of guys that are going to help. That's the reason I almost wanted to remove Cam from saying that Cam got better this year because, naturally he should. How much better is to be determined by the guys that are here to assist him, his O-line, his wide receivers, tight ends, running backs.
Well,
if that makes sense. I'm probably complicating this.
Yeah, for me, though, like, even if he just starts the year the way he ended last year, then he's way better than he was in September of last year.
Sure. I'll project that with you there.
Last 8 games of the season last year, Cam Ward completed 62% of his passes for 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, a quarterback rating of 90. If you extrapolated that over a full 17-game season, a 90 quarterback rating, and that's around 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
It's only 20 touchdowns over the course of an entire season, 22 touchdowns-ish, but I'd take a 90 quarterback rating.
I take that all day now.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
So here's my thing, and we're going to get to all the other position groups here too, but you bring up the point I wanted to make. On paper, this offensive line's worse than it was last year. You know what the difference is, though, in the offensive line performing better or worse? Is the guy throwing the football. A lot of the sacks taken last year were not because the offensive line couldn't block long enough.
Right.
It's because they couldn't block long enough for how long Cam Ward was holding the football. I think the difference in this offense being better or worse than it was a year ago is on the relationship between Brian Daboll and Cam Ward. They're marginally better at running back because they've essentially just added Nick Singleton into the exact same room. Yeah. So I think they're better at running back. I think they're a little better at tight end, but let's just say the floor is they're the same as they were at tight end a year ago. And on the offensive line, you have bigger question marks because right now you've got a big old empty chair at right guard.
There you go.
Big old empty chair. 3 guys battling for one spot as things currently stand, and then a guy who's been a career backup who's likely going to start for you at center.
Mm-hmm.
So the improvement of the offensive line comes down to 2 main things for me. Is J.C. Latham going to take the year 3 jump that players often take when they play on the offensive line?
Yep.
And secondly, is Austin Schlottman an improvement on an injured Lloyd Cushenberry returning from a torn Achilles last season? Those are my 2 big questions about the offensive line. Because if I can get answers on those 2, I can hide somebody at right guard.
Yeah.
If Austin Schlottman's a little better than Cushenberry, and if J.C. Latham takes the kind of jump that I think and you think, and I think a lot of us think that he's really capable of, then I can live with average to below average play at right guard, right?
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it. Because whoever is going to be, whether it's Cordell Volson, who would be a new starter, right? Essentially, he started some in his career.
The guy with the most experience, for sure.
Yeah, or a young rookie. Like the adjustment period between all of them is going to have to happen, especially if you choose to go rookie. It's fascinating how they're going to piece this together. Because when you start mentioning Austin Schlottman being in a position where he starts the season off, though, too, you know what I thought about immediately was, well, who's his backup to? That's where the balance of that group.
I think it's Pat Coogan.
Will it be Pat? And then
so.
If that's the case, do you choose like that backup position between him and Jackson Slater? If Jackson Slater's not your guy, right guard. I'm not envious of making this decision is what I'm saying.
It kind of comes down to what their original plan was for Pat Coogan. Like, did you draft him with the intention of him taking over by November? Or did you draft him with the intention of being a project and this is someone who's a swing interior offensive lineman?
Like your career rotational guy.
Right.
By year 4, maybe he moves into a better role for himself, and I'm not minimizing him. It's just that you also have to draft for depth. Like we talk about college recruiting the exact same way. I know the NFL's got lesser numbers, but you do have to plan for that, although Pat Coogan specifically plays center.
Mm-hmm.
It just, to me, I like this chaos, to be quite honest with you, because you know what it does, Will? It makes everybody in the room unsettled. It creates forced conversations. You get an opportunity to see who's going to help one another out. But at the end of the day, it really does boil down to who is going to compete well, because you can't have a day off in this training camp with how they set up this offensive line. They got about 5 dudes fighting for 2 positions right now.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting. I think that J.C. Latham is just a really important part of all of this.
Very much so.
There's probably not a world where the Titans are better on the offensive line and J.C. Latham isn't also better as an individual. In order for them as a 5 to be better, J.C. Latham has to take a big step forward this year. He is a first-round tackle. This is year 3. You are expected to show me first-round tackle talent when you are going into your 3rd season in the National Football League. And we've given him that grace. You have been consistent on this, and you've been right on a lot of different guys. Andrew Thomas is another great example, and a former left tackle for Brian Daboll for the New York Giants was just miserable until year 3. Peter Skronsky was never miserable, but did not look like a first-round talent for some of his first 2 years. Yeah. Peter Skronsky was one of the best guards in football last year. It was year 3. It's time, JC. It's time. And if he isn't better, I don't think this offensive line group's any better, where they allowed 35 sacks, according to PFF last year, credited to the O-line, the second most in the NFL. It comes down to J.C. Latham, but it also, again, comes down to Cam Ward. Cam Ward last season, his stat of average time to throw, the average time it took him from snap to getting rid of the football, 5th longest in the NFL.
That's tough.
3.00 seconds. Now, he's always going to have a couple plays that make that stat a little bit bigger because he's going to have a couple plays where he holds on to it for 7 to 8 seconds. It does something good. So I don't want to totally coach that out of him. But it's the 3rd down and 6 when you get press man along the board and they're bringing 8, or Cam has got to just let it fly and give his receivers a chance, and he wasn't giving them enough of a chance last year because he was either overthrowing them or just not getting rid of the ball, trying to create too much and then taking a sack or making an ill-advised throw. You've got better receivers now who are going to get more separation. Let it fly and give them a shot.
I got to take out of for that after the break, if you're cool with it, on Cam holding on to it and the responsibilities of it.
And we'll do that coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're going to fill us in there.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Gotcha. Right? And from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running those stairs anymore.
Not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structural Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
Wrapping up the first half of the show on Tuesday mornings, Ramon and Will. Where are the Titans better on offense, the same or marginally worse than where they were in September of 2025? 615-737-1045. Ramon, you had a take on Cam Ward you wanted to get to before the break.
Yeah.
With your mic on.
Not necessarily. This isn't pro or anti him. Just a situation that we continually come to about his ball security and hold on to play, O-line helping the quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. Some quarterbacks don't believe in throwing the ball away. They'll take a sack because throwing the ball away is an incompletion and it hits their passing percentage. That's usually the mindset behind some guys tucking it and taking sacks. So I said, man, answers for Cam holding onto the ball if you don't want to take away his gunslinger side of things, because I agree with you. That is a part of his game. That's why he was drafted here. That's what made him special at every school that he's been at, and the expectations of, I think, the Titans fans on what he's going to do or the next step that he's going to do. You just want to be a little bit more careful. Cam reminds me of the gunslingers that we've seen, right? Your John Elways, your Ben Roethlisbergers, your Brett Favres, those types of guys, Patrick Mahomes even, where they on a run and they make these eccentric plays. I would say this, as a coaching staff, you got to be in a position where you also push that narrative for him. If Cam's going to hold on to the ball and you know that, hey, you live and die by what he do, teach your offensive line block longer. Like, I'll never forget. Now, this also starts with a culture a little bit as well. My first start for the quarterback that I blocked for, Ben Roethlisberger, I had an old guy tell me, it was Willie Colon, who now does NFL Network. Hey, young fella, block longer. And when you think you've blocked long enough, block a little bit, because 7 is going to save us more than he let us down. If you feel that way about Cam as a coaching staff, let everybody in the room know. I don't care he's holding on to it 4 or 5 seconds. If he's scrambling, you better block. Like, that's what I was told. It was also almost a fear tactic in the approach to it. Now, here's the other side of it, though, that is for Cam. One, like I said before, put the pressure on everybody else around him. Either find ways to get open, offensive line block, clean up as much as you can legally. And I think that's something that you can push. And guys, if they love their jobs, that's the requirement here in Nashville, Tennessee for Cam Ward, if he's that special and you believe in him. The other part, though, falls on Cam. Make everybody else right. It's that part. Put it in the vicinity in which your guys can catch it. If we're going to live that life, if you like living that life as well, it's completing big passes, use of his legs. That's where it comes into play. Then it's also in those big dun-dun-dun moments where it's either a big play down the field in the drive, not just the one where you had with Chimere Dike across the middle like that. Like, make those more often. That's where Cam's legend grows. That's where his reputation blossoms a little bit more, though, too. So it's a relationship, to your point. But I think you got to start pushing that narrative now.
Sure. It feels to me like the Titans have decided to bank on Cam Ward alleviating some of their deficiencies up front. I think they are betting on Cam maturing and speeding up his process of knowing where to go with the football and him controlling the amount that he gets hit. I think that is where they're finding the difference in this offensive line being better. I think they believe Cam Ward growing up a little bit makes this offensive line better.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
That's kind of the conclusion I come to, because they have gone with bargains at center and right guard. To be fair, I think they were legitimately interested in Tyler Linderbaum, who chose a really big offer to go to Las Vegas, and I don't believe the Titans are willing to go up to where the Raiders did. That's fine.
Yeah, no doubt.
They don't have to. I think they would have liked to have brought him in a perfect world, but we don't live in that perfect world. I think they would have liked for Connor McGovern to become available. I think their plan A was to go get a veteran center with years of starting experience to replace Lloyd Cushenberry, and that was the first whisper we heard at the NFL Combine was, Lloyd's gone, but they've got a plan. Well, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Everybody's got a plan in free agency until pen goes to paper somewhere else for the guy that you originally wanted. So this is the world we live in now. So what makes up the difference between this offensive line being better or worse or the same from last year? I think Cam Ward is the difference between this offensive line being better or worse from last year because he took longer to throw than everyone in the NFL other than 4 guys last season. 3 seconds on average from snap to throw. If you want better protection from your offensive line this year, it starts with your quarterback. And then there is more to be said about all right, and then also who's just getting beat quickly. Who's a turnstile?
Yeah, that's inexcusable, right?
Right, because that's obviously different. There'll be times every year where every quarterback will be hit after 2.3 seconds because somebody just got beat, or somebody slipped, or somebody's going up against Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. There's obviously exceptions to where Cam's not going to totally be at fault for every sack, and he wasn't last year either. But I do feel like they are banking on the fact that, all right, we're going to be better up front if we can, A, get Cam better people to throw to that get more quick separation, and B, Cam's letting it fly a little bit more quickly.
For sure. I saw a comment. It's a pretty legit one, though, too. As somebody said in our comments on YouTube, to your point, Cam Ward doesn't have the natural instincts when to run. You better develop it if you want it in this league. That's only fair if that's how you want to live the life, though, too. And the other part you mentioned as far as the protection goes, the plays usually have timing to them. You have your 3-step, you have your quick screen outs, you have your 5-step, you have your 7-step, and then you have your long play actions as well. We're not talking about we're not talking about the long play action plays where Cam's holding onto the ball. It is, if it's a 3-step, your wide receiver needs to be able to win in those moments. 1, 2, 3, Cam sets, get the ball out. Your wide receivers got to win. And then in those situations, know where you're going after the fact, Cam, if that's the case. This year, I will say this too. Put more on the O-line because you know what the issues are. I personally don't want to give an excuse to, hey, they're young or this is a new group. There's a lot of experience still in this group with JC, with Dan's played a lot, Peters played a lot, and Austin Slocum has been in this league. I do say whether they meet the line, Will, as far as expectations or not, the expectation has to be there over the course of the season that this group knows what they're doing each and every Sunday because they've all played a lot of ball.
They have, with the exception of whoever your right guard is.
I lived that life.
Yeah. I mean, again, we've spoken about it. If J.C. Latham is a lot better at right tackle, then, yeah, okay, maybe you cover up some of the deficiencies at right guard and we can have a group effort here to pick up the slack for whoever the weakest link is. And right now on paper, the weakest link is the guy who's never played NFL football before, and Fernando Carmona, or Jackson Slater, who's played very little, or Cordell Volson coming off a major injury who did not grade well on PFF when he was healthy.
Yeah.
And I think Pat Coogan's more a center than he is a guard.
Yeah.
But that's also a big if that J.C. Latham takes a big step forward. That's far from a guarantee. And if he doesn't, and you have a new piece at right guard that's not played before, the right side of this offensive line might be pretty rough.
Between him and Dan, they're the two most athletic guys on the O-line.
Well, and Dan Moore last year, according to PFF, gave up pressure on 8% of pass plays, the 7th worst rate among all left tackles in the NFL.
When I hear that number, 8%, it sounds low until you think about how effective it messes with the plays.
Yeah.
8% of 1,000 snaps.
Dan Moore is one of the most sure things on this offensive line, and even he is not a sure thing. Peter Skronsky is the sure thing, obviously.
I guess when you think of it, 8% of 1,000 snaps is 80 bad plays, though, too. I mean, that's a lot of bad plays.
There's still a world where in 2027, the only guy in their current spot on this offensive line who's in that same spot in 2027 is Peter Skronsky. If J.C. Latham eventually kicks inside, you go find another left tackle, Schlotman doesn't hit, and you're looking at center. I mean, we're talking about the worst possible timeline at this point. Odds are one of these guys will hopefully hit.
No doubt.
I hope, but there are a lot of question marks up front, and that's a bit of a concern when you talk about protecting a quarterback going into his second year and in a new system. He's going to need a little bit of time to adjust to that new system once live bullets start flying.
For sure.
Coming up, Lane Kiffin made headlines again. Ooh. Congrats to him on that. Just maybe not for the right reasons. Again. We'll talk about it coming up next.
If you're looking for TRT that's flexible enough for your lifestyle, man, just head over to Low T Center. It's the #1 name in TRT, where you can choose testosterone shots, pills, or many other options that they have. You can also pay with your insurance or out of pocket, and even have your treatment shipped directly to your door for self-inject or self-treatment in general. And now Low T Center is offering new peptides, new treatments, and so much more, where you can boost your energy, libido, and confidence for the results that you can feel. Synergex and Low T Center, they provide testosterone replacement therapy and hormone replacement therapy tailored to your body, your lifestyle, and your budget. When hormones are imbalanced, patients feel fatigued. They have low drive, mood changes, and body changes as well. Balancing your hormones, that means living a better, healthier life. And also, testosterone is not just for men. Testosterone is important for women as well. It helps boost energy, confidence, and your drive, and so much more. And no, it will not turn you into a man. Doses for women are very careful, so they can help you meet your goals as well. It's not just a guy thing, it's a you thing, it's a health thing. To book your free testosterone test, you can head over to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
8:04, good morning, live from the Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs round 2 Monday night. Donovan Mitchell scored 43 points as the Cavaliers tied the series up at 2 games apiece with the Detroit Pistons after a 112-103 win. Game 5 moving back to Detroit Wednesday night. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 35 points as the Thunder complete the 4-0 series sweep over LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers after a 115-110 win last night. The Thunder now await the winner of the Timberwolves and Spurs. Game 5 for them is tonight in San Antonio. The series tied up at 2 games apiece. NHL playoffs on Monday. The Avalanche beating the Wild 5-2, moving to a 3-1 series lead and now 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals. More NFL schedule releases. It was announced this morning that the Denver Broncos will take on the Kansas City Chiefs Week 1 of Monday Night Football, but the location of the game has yet to be determined. Announced yesterday, the Buffalo Bills will host the Detroit Lions Week 2 on Thursday Night Football, and the Cowboys will host the Eagles on Thanksgiving Day, November 26th. The full schedule release is coming up this Thursday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bring it easy once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Eight a.m., second half of the show on Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045, the number. Austin Price in 15 minutes. Taylor Zarzer coming up at 9:20. Your thoughts and musings in the F&M Big Chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Lane Kiffin did an interview with Vanity Fair with a number of topics covered, but one of them is making very big headlines. Talking about the adult money and willingness to spend to build a winner that gives LSU an edge in the NIL era. Lane Kiffin didn't just stop there at taking some shots at Ole Miss. Via Vanity Fair, when he was coaching there, Kiffin says top recruits would tell him, "Hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi." Quote, "That doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents were sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great. Quote, it feels like there's no segregation, and we want that for our kid because that's the real world," end quote. Of course, Confederate flags have been a mainstay at Ole Miss games. The school indirectly banned them in 1997 with a blanket ban on flag sticks. And until 2003, Ole Miss's mascot was Colonel Reb, a nod to the state's Civil War past. They still go by Rebels. And Lane Kiffin is maybe making note of some of that into some of the just overall feeling of going back in time when you are in Oxford, Mississippi, a place that is rooted in history and does feel, I've been there, Ramon, and you've been in Oxford as well, a place that feels frozen in history. What was your reaction seeing this from Lane Kiffin via Vanity Fair yesterday?
It wasn't a lie from his perspective, from those folks' perspective, though, too. That is a little bit of a that's a little bit of a sticking point about Ole Miss. I've had those conversations privately on the air with 3HL as well. We're, telling our teammate here, Don Davenport, there's a little bit of a difference whenever you cross over into the Mississippi state lines. It just kind of is. That Southern heritage part of it, though, too, it resonates to some folks, whether they've experienced it themselves in their family history or directly while being on campus. I reached out to a couple of Ole Miss guys that I know in general, like Noel, and they shared those exact same sentiments about it. If you listen to Darren Bates and King Dunlap and Jalen Collins' Raw Room podcast they had a Ole Miss Rebel former player on there, Brandon Bolden. I'm looking at it right now. And Brandon told about some of the stuff that he experienced at Ole Miss as well. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, former Rebel himself. That conversation is always just going to come up. Mississippi in general has a hard reputation when it comes down to black and white racism and stuff like that. And that just I don't think it's going to leave. To have Lane Kiffin, this is what I will say, is two things. Lane's exes were never good enough. I just want to put that out there. I never fell on the Lane train when it came down, and he's changed himself, and I'm glad that everybody gets an opportunity to see that too. Soon as he's done with you, you're the worst thing to ever have happened to him. Ole Miss, welcome to the Vols world. Ole Miss, welcome to SEC world. This is just what it is. If he doesn't pan out at LSU, he's going to do the exact same daggone thing to LSU as well. We live in the South, with that being said. A lot of the stuff that goes on, some people still affect that. There are conversations of still in certain cities, and I heard it specifically in Mississippi, just in general, not Oxford, not Ole Miss, in Mississippi. There are still what you call sundown towns. It's real. We can't act like it's not. I've seen other recruits not going to Ole Miss say that about it as well. It's just a little bit different. Players go on to that campus, though, and they're treated differently. The one player I just told you about that was on Raw Room with Darren Bates said that he had to go look and see, but he was told that there was still flying in the middle of campus the representation of the Confederate flag. I know some people go into their heritage when they speak about the Confederate flag, and however you want to choose about it, we're going to do sports. I'm not going to speak much about it. With that being said, some of the players had an issue with that side of it as well. So it is a representation of what one means versus the other. And the other part of it, though, too, until there's a real live conversation from the powers that be around the state of Mississippi. There's a lot of black people that live there in general. And there's a lot of people that feel the effects of things that happened years ago around the state. Again, Oxford has provided numerous opportunities for black and brown and minority people in general. But the reputation that comes along with the Rebels, the name, the representation, I'll put it this way. I don't think Lane was lying. I don't know if he needed to say it in that point because, again, all it was to me was his ability to crap on Ole Miss, because here's the other part, though, too. We all in the SEC conference. The Tennessee Volunteers name in general. I mean.
That's more the Alamo.
I mean, it just
it's more
the way you look at it in totality.
Texas kind of Mexican war history than it is, I think, Civil War.
For sure. But the same things that happen in Mississippi happen around the South in general.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And you can look into LSU history, and the Tigers nickname that was adopted in 1896 referenced Civil War era Louisiana volunteer military units known as the Louisiana Tigers. And Confederate units, particularly Tiger rifles, earned a reputation in Louisiana in the 1860s. I mean, we are in the South, and unfortunately, if you look deep enough into history at all of these institutions, you're going to find foundational embedded racism and mistakes in history that are unerasable, unfortunately. 100%. If you look hard enough in all these places. Does Oxford, Mississippi feel like a place that is frozen in time from years ago? Yeah, it does. That's part of the mystique of it. It's part of the picturesque nature of you feel like you're in a village that's the architecture. And those are things that, again, not all of it's bad. It's architecture. It's the local grocery right down the road, kind of in the square area. Like, history in and of itself is that. It's history. We learn from it. We move on from it. I don't blame anyone for feeling a little uncomfortable that is a place rooted in history, and there's a lot of bad history. And I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about that. What I can say is that I totally agree with you. Lane Kiffin is always going to find a way to throw a Molotov cocktail on the way out and just set a blowtorch to his exes and to his past employers. And if it wasn't this, it was going to be some other way that he could differentiate himself and endear himself more to his new place.
Yeah.
And talk bad about the place that he just was because of the way that they escorted him out the door, where he felt like he still had a chance to coach his national championship team. That's what this is. Lane Kiffin is addicted to this attention. He is addicted to this, and he's always going to be like this.
I say all that to say about the history of it, and I'll even go a step. My advisor is an Ole Miss alum. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's that part of it as well where people are pulling in the right direction and somewhat beat those stereotypes. And again, I'll say this on Saturdays and stuff like that, when it comes to it, I firmly believe that sports should have no color. And what I mean by that is if you're good enough, you should play. If you're elite enough, it shouldn't matter on, I ain't gonna say it shouldn't matter on that side of it, but you should be judged on your performance, not by your color in those situation. Now, Coach Yo with the women's basketball team, the way they get athletes to come there in general. But again, I'll be neglectful if I don't say I do think that is part of Ole Miss's, I guess, inability to close out even their in-state players from time to time, though, too. If you look at Ole Miss's recruiting, their in-states go to other places.
Sure.
That is a part of what Mississippi is, but I would say this in general. That's the reason I push this on Fridays. We all are more alike than we are same. This hate thing that we got going on, we all go to the same 6-foot grave and got to answer to somebody when we die. I hate it. I hate the climate that we're in right now as well. And Lane pushing this narrative, here's the thing that I have with Lane Kiffin pushing this about Mississippi. Lane, if you really feel that way about some of the issues that we have going on in the South or in the climate, let's see you do something about it as well. Because if we're not picking sides and not choosing color and trying to push ourselves away from racist ways and politics and stuff like that, then you shouldn't be passing out hats about certain anecdotes that are spoken about in political worlds and stuff like that. Like, if you're really going to do it, Lane, go to the front line, because your representation as a white American male would go a whole lot further than you say, no, just bring the black athletes to Louisiana. If you really are going to do it, actually do something, Lane, instead of trying to win a national championship or fatten your pockets, though, too, because you can't go curse at Ole Miss and what they got going on without representing what the entire situation is. That's my only push for people that want to jump up on their podiums like this is, what are you actually doing to beat it?
Well said. I don't disagree with a single thing you just said in this entire segment. I think everything you said is totally fair, and I don't blame anybody for feeling the way you do as well. Totally legit. Nothing else I need to add.
And again, like I said, I got good friends from Ole Miss as well.
Totally get it.
I know it don't matter because business is business, but my advisor,
I think it matters.
He's an Ole Miss alum.
Sure.
Godfrey.
We'll talk with him tomorrow. He'll be on the show at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. He'll have thoughts.
ELE is my philosophy. Everybody love everybody, man, but
Very fair.
I get where it comes from.
Austin Price joins us with the latest out of Knoxville, coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, it's available to you 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yes, same-day appointments are available to you if you call them soon enough, or they guarantee you an appointment the next day. Everything from your primary health care to urgent care to IV therapy to even medical weight loss, they can help you out with it. They come directly to where you are. That's the cool part about it. You don't have to go to them wherever you are, whether you're in Hendersonville, anywhere around the mid-state, Nashville, Brentwood, it doesn't matter. They will come to you, and for a flat fee, you can get an evaluation, you can get full exam treatment plans and prescriptions if you need it. They're trying to bring back the concierge to medicine so that you can get what you need and honestly stay with us for a very long time. If you need your labs done, they can do that. If you're feeling a little bit under weather or know that a cold is coming up, the IV therapy is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Put those nutrients directly into your bloodstream. Hydrate yourself. Get yourself back. From fighting the flu to performance-enhancing cocktails, they got you covered. Again, the website is medicalhousecalls.com, or you can call or text them at 615-838-2375.
When it comes to moving, there is no one-size-fits-all when you're looking for that realtor. And Bernie Gallerani and Bernie Gallerani's real estate team has options that other agents simply don't or can't have. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. There's no risk to you. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. The real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee to sell your home. And if not, he'll buy it from you. Bernie Gallerani's not that big national agent. He knows Middle Tennessee, and he's going to get to know you and your goals as well. Every step of the process will be handled with care when you trust the team at Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. Give him a call at 615-428-2644. You can learn more by going online to BernieGallerani.com. Get the 30-day guarantee by calling Bernie Gallerani directly on his cell phone, 615-428-2644, or check him out online at BernieGallerani.com. Every time the glass breaks, you get the latest out of Knoxville as Hour 3 continues on Ramon and Will. He is Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined by our friend Austin Price of All Quested on 3 at Austin Priceless on Twitter. Austin, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Good to have you back on. Austin, for the quarterbacks right now, what do the next few weeks look like at the moment for Faison, Brandon, George McIntyre? Any specific things you feel like they are working on in this little break between spring ball and the summer workouts?
Yeah, I think just trying to maintain. I mean, obviously, if you're not in there with Derek Owings and his staff right now, like you would be, and coming up here in a couple of weeks, and so the ability to maintain weight, to work on your craft in terms of your footwork, your arm angle, all those things, that quarterback coaches want to work on with their quarterbacks, just kind of perfecting it. I think matters most. I mean, I guess for George, it's probably maintaining weight, when you're not in there doing, the heavy lifting and a lot of the stuff you do when you're training, it's about making sure you don't come back less than what you left at. For Faison, same thing. Both continue to add weight. Faison's ahead of George and that part of it. And, again, the next few months are critical for both guys.
Austin, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I'm curious where you would go here. Which position group do you feel best about on this Tennessee roster entering the summer?
That's a great question. I really like where they're at running back. I like that group. I think Darrell Sims has done a nice job with them. I like where they're at linebacker just because they're so deep. And oddly enough, I kind of like where they're at in the secondary. I think there's so many new bodies and functional players in the back end. I feel like that group is going to be a pleasant surprise this fall.
We're joined by Austin Price of All Question on 3 this morning. Austin, recruiting is picking up right now. It's that time of the year, man. Is this 2027 recruiting slightly behind schedule, or have the big names just hadn't gotten to that time to make a decision just yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at no different than years past. I think June and July. I mean, you've had a few more kids commit overall across the country to this point than you had in years past, Ramon. But for the most part, you're still looking at official visits in June, decisions late June, and in the month of July. And, I mean, there'll be a few stragglers that hold out until, the football season or whatever, just like there were some that pulled the trigger early. But for the most part, a lot of this will happen over the next 6-7 weeks.
No doubt about it, man. Of course, where dad goes to school doesn't matter where the son goes to school. Tennessee's kind of had two legacy guys commit to other places. The most recent one, man, is Kenny Simon, Kevin Simon's son, committed to Alabama yesterday, man. Are the Vols out of it for now with Kenny Simon, or do you expect them to keep swinging up until signing day?
I mean, I think you periodically check in with him. I think you let him breathe right now. I think calling him and doing a lot of hard sell pitching doesn't make much sense. But I think, you give it about a month and check in on him and kind of see where things are. And then you got to let the season play out. Obviously, he committed to Alabama for a reason. We'll see what kind of year they have down there and go from there. Listen, you're right. Every kid's got to do what he wants to do. It's his journey. It's, he's the one waking up and going to workouts and going to class and doing all those things. And, no matter where Kevin played, Kenny's got to do what's best for Kenny. And if he didn't feel like that was Tennessee, he doesn't feel like that's Tennessee. No different than Peyton Manning once upon a time going to Tennessee and not going to Ole Miss. So, I guess, for my thing, I get the angst of it all. At the end of the day, one player in this era doesn't make or break your team. I mean, even though David Gabriel Georgia doesn't make or break your team, Tennessee's ran the ball effectively, no matter who the running back has been, since Josh Heupel has been here. Now, would you like to have David Gabriel Georgia? Yes, you don't want to lose him. But, I mean, again, you'd like to have had Kenny Simon, but, again, no player in this era, especially from the high school ranks, makes or breaks you. 3 years down the line, maybe 2 years down the line, if everything's going great, then sure. I mean, it could be something that rears its ugly head because you'll go against Kenny. You'll see him make plays. But, I think, again, you just have to, do what's best for the program, do what's best for you, and Kenny's got to do what's best for him.
Austin Price of AllQuest, our guest. Also, just a quick follow-up on David Gabriel Georges. I told Hubs Friday I felt sore watching him deadlift over 700 pounds last week on social media. Do you remember a prospect just this physically gifted at a skill position like this? Like, how rare of a talent is David Gabriel Georges compared to some of the other really good recruits that you've seen Tennessee be in the mix with in the past?
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry was very similar, and Tennessee was finished second for him behind Alabama. I mean, I think he visited here 3 or 4 times over the course of the last 6 or 7 months before he committed. DGG's got something to him. He's physically really gifted. Tennessee's by there to see him today. We expect several members of the staff in Chattanooga because that's what people do. And he's a gifted player, and he's got a lot of twitch to him. The biggest thing he's got to him is drive. When you're driven to be great, that goes a long way. You can be, gifted. God can gift you, the ability to run fast, change direction easy, all those things, but he can't gift you a drive. That comes internally, and there's been a lot of God-given talents that were wasted, but he doesn't seem to be wasting his. He seems like a kid that's pretty driven to be great and do, the most with what God's given him, and he's a special player, and that's why so many top teams in the country want him.
Austin, with Favor Ibe on the hoops front, committing to Virginia, where could Tennessee still look there to fill in some more depth for Rick Barnes in the front court?
Yeah, Tennessee's going to continue to recruit probably a few lesser names. We'll see who they can get to campus, over the next few days. I think Tennessee's been talking to a couple of guys, but no visits have been officially set up to this point. So I'm just glad you figured out how to say his last name because we were saying eBay.
Oh, really? I'm probably wrong. I learned when I first did this, and there's not a pronunciation guide. If I just say it confidently, people will think I know how to say it sometimes. So that's about where I'm at for high school athletes.
Yeah, that's the key in all that, right? I mean, that's, Mike Wilson told me he thought it was eBay. I'm like, works for me. I mean,
Perfect. On the baseball front, Austin, what stands out from the series win over Texas on the Diamond over the weekend? Felt like old Lindsey Nelson Stadium from the past couple of years again, a little bit over the weekend.
It did. It was a really good weekend. Obviously, got those first 2 wins, and then unfortunate for Landon and Mac to not be able to go on Sunday, and they had to go through the bullpen day, and that's tough when the bullpen's been struggling the way it has. Either way, Tennessee wins the series, and we'll see if they can do the same thing at Oklahoma this weekend. If they can do that, then they can get back to 15-15 in conference play. And that's pretty remarkable when you think about where this team was at certain stretches of the regular season, and they seem to be hitting the baseball the best they've hit it to this point. You look at 25 runs, I think it's the second most in an SEC series this year for this team, and they've always had the starting pitching. If they could just get any kind of pulse out of the bullpen, I think this team would really start to cook with grease, so to speak, because they have started to hit the ball a little bit better and find a little bit of pushback when the team pushes on them. They've, early in the year, I don't think they pushed back as hard as they pushed back this weekend when Texas, jumped up in Saturday's game. And then even Sunday when they got up 4-0, Tennessee came back and hit that grand slam in the bottom of the first and tied it before Texas was able to pull away.
Austin, in that same sentiment, man, is there any timetable for Landon Mack to return?
The hope is this weekend. I mean, obviously, I think it depends on kind of where Tennessee's at. But they were hoping that it was not going to be very long, Ramon. It was going to be pretty short-lived. But I guess, if things linger, he could, it could be the SEC tournament, which, again, if Tennessee, if you can go down and win one game and, just move the needle a little bit. I think that'd be good for Tennessee because you look at this team, the way the bullpen is, that they've got to stay out of that tournament because I don't think that helps them. And then two, when they get to regionals, they've got to win those first 2 games because if they get to the losers bracket, they don't have the starting pitching and the bullpen to pull themselves out, in my opinion, at least based off of what they've done to this point.
Austin Price of AllQuest with us. Austin, we always finish on Majors weeks with your pick because also you were also pretty close with the Masters and some of the names you brought up when we asked this about a month ago. Who you got for PGA Championship this weekend?
You know, I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm gonna take Rory to win the first 2 majors of the year, and outside of that, I think Koepka's starting to round into form.
Yep.
He played pretty well in Myrtle Beach last week, had a 64 on Saturday. He's won the PGA 3 times. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he kind of found his groove. And then, you know, going an off-the-wall pick, you know, Justin Thomas
yes.
is a guy who started to trend, and Jordan Spieth both. You know, Jordan Spieth, since he finished, what was it, tied third at Bethpage. I think since then, that was 2019, 2018, whatever it was. He's not even come close to the PGA. Of course, he needs the PGA for the career Grand Slam. I don't think he can win, but I do think he can top 20, which would be a drastic improvement based off of what he's done at the PGA the last several years.
That's true.
So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see his name up there on the leaderboard. He and Justin Thomas, I know their names, so it's not like totally off the wall, but like these are guys that also haven't been super trendy the last year or two. You know, Justin's got 2 PGAs, and then, of course, Jordan's lacking a PGA for the career Grand Slam. So those are kind of my off the wall as far as guys that have not been super trendy that are starting to trend in the right direction. But I'm going to go with Rory. I think, you know, again, you take the pressure off, I think it opens up a lot for him, and you can always put Scheffler in there as well.
I was going to go Ludwig Oberg as my pick and Justin Thomas as my dark horse. So we're on the same thinking. I don't know. He started using Cam Young's putter, and he looked like a different guy last weekend. He looked good, actually putting for once. So we're on the same wavelength. Austin Price, Tuesdays at 8:20 here in the show. Appreciate you as always, Austin. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Austin Price.
So it's a big one this weekend.
Huge.
It is. Which one is it? You said players? Or just
this is PGA.
It's just a PGA tournament?
PGA Championship.
Oh, it's the PGA Championship.
It's a major.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, where is it at? And
up near Long Island.
Up near Long Island.
Well, my first question for actually no, it's see, this was my first question for Taylor is to learn how to pronounce this. Aronimink. Newton Square, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Newton Square, Pennsylvania.
Philly.
I was about to say, I never even heard of that place.
I was looking at a later tournament. I was thinking of U.S. Open. I was thinking of Shinnecock.
So,
Shinnecock is that.
Shinnecock. Okay,
that's U.S. Open.
So the PGA's got 4 bigs as far as tournaments.
Yep, this is one of them.
Masters, PGA Championship. Why do they call it the PGA Championship if there's 2 more? I have to ask Taylor that coming.
Well, because this is the PGA of America. This is not the PGA Tour.
Okay.
So PGA of America is its own entity. Yeah, it's right outside Philly,
okay.
Just west of Philly. So PGA is different from the PGA Tour.
Okay. And then it's the U.S. Open.
Yep.
And then it's the Open Championship late in July, middle of July.
Which is British. Yep.
That's British. Okay, the Open.
The Open Championship is British.
Gotcha. That's where you team up against one another?
No, that's the Ryder Cup.
That's the Ryder Cup.
Or the President's Cup, which happens every year, but one year it's President's Cup, which is this year, and then the next year it's Ryder Cup.
I got you. Which one were they going bananas in? That was the Ryder Cup?
That is the Waste Management.
No.
And the Ryder Cup.
It was the one where Rory...
There are multiple where people are going crazy.
Where Rory went off on the New Yorkers last year, where they were...
That's happened multiple tournaments too. No, but you're talking about the Ryder Cup. That's the one I went. That's the one I was there for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay,
which, again, I can just say, because I was there, crowd was not as crazy, in my opinion, as what Rory made it out to be.
Really?
There was a small minority of people that were loud hecklers, But like the way the Italian fans treated the U.S. 2 years prior,
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anything
It's
really
fair
that crazy
game
going on.
is what you're telling me.
No, but it's also not the only time that Ryder Cup crowds have been rowdy. I don't know. It may have gotten worse once I left. I was there for Friday, and then I flew to Houston to do the Titans-Texans game that Sunday. So maybe it got crazier Saturday, Sunday. I was there all day Friday at this past Ryder Cup. It was not as crazy as I think it has been made out to be.
Yeah, so got to
on
do
social
the
media.
beer at his wife or something like that.
Yeah, and that obviously I will disavow.
Rory need to
Not
put hands
condone,
on that guy. Yeah, you put hands on that type of dude if you can afford it. No, he don't need to do that. He can't afford that.
I don't know.
But the Ryder Cup and the FedEx Cup is also very prestigious too. It's a major event.
The Ryder Cup is prestigious. The FedEx Cup is kind of a manufactured playoff by the PGA Tour to try to have like a playoff and championship. In reality, the real championships you want to win are the four majors.
Big four. Yeah.
You would take all those before you would the FedEx Cup championship, which the Tour Championship is a big deal at East Lake in Atlanta in September. That's like a major payout. But at the end of the day, like you'd rather have a major.
I wonder if those golfers complain about staying in Memphis like the NBA players.
Yeah, TPC Southwind is one of the playoff FedEx Cup tournaments leading up to the FedEx Cup Championship. So that's a good question.
They probably rent houses though.
Right. Yeah, golfers aren't staying in hotels as much as they are like the tournament will give you a house, or I guess you'll rent a house. Taylor Zarzer could answer all these questions much better than I can. Coming up at 9:20, we're having Taylor on to talk like half Titans, half PGA Championship because he was the voice of the Masters on the radio for Sirius XM this year and does majors on the radio. So he will be much better of an expert on this than I am.
No doubt.
Everyone we bring on this show, including Ramon, much more of an expert than I am at anything. That goes without saying. 615-737-1045. I'll hit some more headlines for you. Some confirmed games that are going to be happening in the NFL. We'll run through what we know so far after this.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball. Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
Ramon Will wrapping up hour number 3 of the program. 615-737-1045, the number. Taylor Zarzer coming up in a half hour. Get back to our big topic from earlier this morning about where the Titans are most improved on offense. And wrap a bow on it from yesterday as well about where they have improved or just changed the most since the beginning of September on offense or defense. Andrew Siciliano, who puts on Twitter this morning, confirmed NFL, parentheses, not rumored games, as it is schedule release week, and the schedule is slowly being released. We know 3 week 1 games. 49ers at Rams in Melbourne. Cowboys at Giants, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs Broncos will be Monday Night Football. Just got that this morning. Lions at Bills, week 2, Thursday Night Football. Ravens at Cowboys, week 3 in Rio for the Brazil game. Week 12, Eagles at Cowboys. That will be Thanksgiving. So I imagine that means the Titans won't be playing on Thanksgiving unless they are playing at Detroit on Thanksgiving, because the Titans do have a trip scheduled to the Detroit Lions for this season.
They do have that.
And they did beat the Lions in Detroit famously on Thanksgiving years back.
Wow. I think Detroit got them the last time, but
unfortunately,
a little bit of get back is part of it. That's what sports is all about. You prefer a holiday game for the Titans? For sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate that. It'd be fun.
I think it'd be fun too. To actually get some national attention put on you. On the guy Cam Ward like that. That would be huge. Not just for him. We always mention Cam, but Jeff's the guy. You know, when you look at it, and I'm sure everybody's going to want to put eyes on Carnell as well. I always loved this part of it, though. I would be real with you. The primetime games is what got me going. I think for fans as well, it's unique to watch people set themselves up in the fall for visits and trips and tickets and everything else that come along with it. I think more people get excited about the away trips than they do the home guests, I feel, from time to time.
November 27th, 2008, Titans at Lions on Thanksgiving. The Titans improved to 11-1 on that day with a 47-10 victory over the then 0-12 Detroit Lions. Kerry Collins was 11 of 18 for only 127, but the Titans ran for 292 yards that day. Chris Johnson, 16 for 125 and 2 touchdowns. Lindell White, 23 for 106. And 2 touchdowns. You know who the Titans' leading receiver was in that game?
In 02?
No, this was 08.
08?
This was the 13-3 season. Ahmad Hall.
Yeah, let's go.
Fullback.
Let's go.
Respect the troops. Had a 54-yard catch in that game. And he had 2 catches for 53 with a 54-yard catch, meaning his other catch was for -1. There was not a single player on that Titans team that had more than 2 catches that day. No. And they won a football game 47-10. No. Any guesses on who the quarterback was for the Detroit Lions that day? 2008
Lions,
Thanksgiving.
Bruce Gronkowski?
Nope.
I ain't got a clue because they're almost as bad as Cleveland with quarterbacks.
Uh-huh. Well, I can tell you that Calvin Johnson had 5 catches for 66 to no one's shock.
Of course. That's what forced him to retire so soon.
Dante Culpepper.
Who?
Was the quarterback that
For
day.
who?
For the Detroit Lions. Not for the Titans.
When did he have an era with Detroit? When did I miss that?
Let's see. Were you going to get that, Justin?
No, I was thinking Dan Orlovsky, because didn't he play for the Lions?
Dan he did play for the Lions,
but not for that long.
I knew it wasn't Charlie Batch. That's taking it back to the 90s.
So Dante Culpepper finished his career in Detroit with 13 games played there in 2 seasons. In 08 and 09, he went in 10 starts, 0-10 as the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
Oh, I guess he did not get his roll on. Oh, my gosh, that's terrible.
So he played 7 years in Minnesota, 2 years in Detroit, 1 year in Oakland, 1 year in Miami.
In Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Did he finish that season? Ain't no way he finished that season.
Which one?
In Miami.
Miami? No, he only played 4 games in 2006 for the Miami Dolphins.
I was about to say.
And that was weeks 1 through 4. He beat the Titans 13-10 on September 24th, 2006.
I'm asking you these questions.
Follow for more useless facts.
He didn't play into the 2010s? I don't know why I feel like he played later.
Played from 99 to 09. Played 11 years.
This is Culpepper?
Mm-hmm.
Donovan McNabb. They ran together, I feel like.
McNabb was 99 to 11.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. He just lasted 2 more seasons.
I remember when Culpepper first came onto the scene. Boy, he was one of the coolest big dudes out there doing it with a cannon of an arm.
From Central Florida.
He was in Central Florida.
UCF,
he went Syracuse. That's McNabb.
McNabb was Syracuse. Yep.
Wow.
Keith Bullock's teammate who lost to the Tennessee Volunteers famously.
Yeah, he did. Tell the truth, man. Shame the devil.
That's right. I will say nothing about some of the flags that weren't thrown in that game. Or one specifically.
I'm still on the contingency. I think the Titans get 2 prime times. A Thursday night. I might be pushing it on a Sunday night. Saturday night?
I don't really count the Saturday ones, though, honestly, because that's so late in the season. I mean, yeah, I'll count them when the season's over. But for schedule release, I feel like we're thinking about Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. Or a holiday.
Saturday night hits, though. I never played in one, but I enjoy Saturday night hits.
Heck, it hit in the preseason last year.
They can end up doing a Saturday night, then run it back with a Thursday. I think most people will sign up for that.
I'm going to guess it's 1 primetime game.
1 prime?
1.
You got 1 too, Hall?
They had 0 last year. Let's upgrade to 1.
Yeah, I think 1's a good start.
Trying to double
Just like
it.
3 wins, let's upgrade to more than 3.
I feel you. I'll still set them at 2. I don't know why I feel like they'll get 2 this
I think it's 1 primetime game, and it's at Vegas against the Raiders.
There's a guy.
Pure guess.
There's a guy on social media, if we believe the dog that Bert like to use, is doing predictions, and I think he's hit on almost all the recent
Is that real Ricky or is that fake Ricky?
No, this ain't
now there's
even
somebody
Ricky.
posing as Ricky Scoops on Twitter.
This ain't Ricky. This is a mock schedule guy, and he's kind of hit on his first 5.
I feel like if you look hard enough, you can find leaks that say everything this week. This leak.
I'm saying.
Sometimes those guys are just want attention.
They're trying to get paid through Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you can get paid for just saying things on Twitter, there's so many people just saying stuff just to make a little bit of money.
Can we end vague posting?
I would love to. I would love to. If you don't know what vague posting means, if you're out there, it's when somebody will tweet something of like, wow, hearing some crazy things, ... And then you won't say what the things are. You just want attention.
And you just get the engagement and you get paid.
It's pretty annoying.
It is. Oh, they got another photo of them. And everybody's like, who? When you hit the comments.
We're just putting the eye emojis out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not the biggest fan of that myself.
Me either.
Coming up. What?
It's just like, get back to it. Come on.
No, time to go to break.
It is.
We gotta pay the bills here as we head to the 4th and final hour. 615-737-1045. Should we do a draft of radio cliches? I don't know. That's a little inside. I don't know if that would land.
Nah.
We would be entertained by it. But I don't know if our audience is like, what do you... Coming up with the bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by...
I got one top of the mind. I know I can't say it on air. It's too inside.
Now you're vague posting, but just into a microphone. This is you have become what you hate. I am. You going to tell me in the break?
Yep.
And then we'll decide when we come back if we can say it on air or not?
Yep.
Find out next. Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With a Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto with 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com, 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
9:03, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs round 2 Monday night. The Cavaliers tie the series up 2 games apiece with the Detroit Pistons after a 112-103 win. Game 5 moving back to Detroit on Wednesday night. Then the Thunder, they complete the 4-0 series sweep over the Lakers with a 115-110 win. The Thunder now wait the winner of the Timberwolves and Spurs, who have Game 5 tonight in San Antonio with the series tied up 2 games each. In the NHL playoffs on Monday, the Avalanche beating the Wild 5-2, moving to a 3-1 series lead and 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals. And some more NFL schedule releases. It was announced this morning that the Denver Broncos will take on the Kansas City Chiefs Week 1 on Monday Night Football, but the location of the game has yet to be determined. It was announced yesterday that the Bills will host the Lions Week 2 Thursday Night Football, and the Cowboys will host the Eagles on Thanksgiving Day, November 26th. The full schedule release is coming up this Thursday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bring it easy once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the 4th and final hour of the show. Ramon and Will continues on the 104.5 The Zone app, 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. 615-737-1045 is our number. Deep breaths.
I know. I was hoping my mic was still off. And then he turned it off.
Oh, yeah, that's back. Okay.
He turned it back off.
Okay.
I feel like we've been running a race this morning, man.
Really?
Welcome back in to Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone.
Go for it. Lead the way.
If you could, man, you can watch us on YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Ramon Will and Jayhawk. Compliments of Cumulus. I'm not even trying right now. I'm just throwing stuff up. You know what I'll do?
Great.
If you want to end on the conversation, 615-737-1045. The phone lines are wide open for you right now.
That's well done.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Well, maybe one day this summer when we get really into the off season.
I'll lead.
Yeah, if you want, you could lead a show.
I might.
I'll say here, I'll just throw takes out there. We can even switch seats. No, God, I don't want to switch seats. I like this spot.
I kind of like this spot.
I'll just chuck takes out there. Not that that's what you do. It's just what I'm going to do.
I would. I'll just run with it if you want me to.
Be take guy.
Take guy.
We could. You know what? That actually is a good show idea.
Verse roles?
Just have it. No, well, that too. But have a show that's just, what are your hottest takes?
What are your hottest
Foster
takes?
5 of hottest takes. Like things we legitimately believe in that are unpopular opinions.
That'll get the juices going.
That got my mind rolling right now. Hawk, you got one off top? I talked to my wife too about your baby situation as well, about how you put together the nursery and stuff. And she was like, I was just like, I don't remember us putting up together like an entire room. She's like, oh, we did. I was just like,
oh,
like,
you just didn't remember it?
No, I do remember like the stuff, but like not all of
She
that.
remembers
like,
it differently?
She remembers it differently. She was in the trenches. I was out here trying to earn a little bit. Will, okay. Our crib, the first time we stayed in the loft in Knoxville, RJ was pretty much sleeping in the room with us because the crib was right there and the other rooms were downstairs. We go to Pittsburgh. I mean, it was essentially the same. We put together crib, rocking chair, the bassinet and stuff like that. But like you put together dressers. We ain't put together no dressers.
I put together 2 of them.
2 dressers.
2 dressers, a crib, bassinet, which the wife helped. That was just like the PVC.
put her to work.
What's a bassinet?
Bassinet is a small.
See, I had learned this for the first
I don't
time.
know what that is.
It is a small version of a big crib, basically.
It's what you put on your bedside so that you can be readily available to pick them up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they can sleep in a smaller crib, basically.
We'll call it a mobile crib.
Yeah, they got some now that'll rock and sway and move back and forth. It's basically, if you in a rocking chair, you sitting down, you don't want to lay the baby on the bed, or lay them down in the big crib because you're in the living room, just put them in a bassinet. They can take the same nap right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, instead of the big crib is all it is. The baby's more available to you if you take it out of the room.
Okay.
Or sleep with the baby right next to the bed, which the baby should always, Hawk, always sleep in their own beds. Don't you start that trend of like sleeping with the baby. That is a bad thing because they grow attached to it. Because especially moms, you know what I'm saying? Like if you sleep with the baby, that's all the baby's gonna do is sleep. You want your child to eventually, like eagles kicking their baby eagles out of the pen. Eventually, they don't have to fly. And if they sleep in the bed with mommy and daddy, people be upset about that.
Okay. The more you know.
Taking up my time and opportunities.
Well, just like letting people fly. My hottest take
I see.
of the day.
You get it now. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, what's your
My
hottest
hottest
take?
take of the day that I just came up with since you put me on the spot. I believe that Fernando Carmona Jr.
Oh, you're
as
going
well,
Titans.
Yeah, as well as Pat Coogan will be your starting center and right guard by Thanksgiving.
That's good.
I don't hate that. I don't think that's that hot of a take. I think that's a pretty lukewarm take.
I kind of think that's a hot take.
Really?
I do. That's a good one to me. Just starting 2 rookies for the rest of the season.
Like, I was thinking, like, pineapple on pizza sucks and, like, fruit should never be hot. That's the kind of, like, hot take I was
pizza
thinking
should
about.
never be a thing.
Y'all
That's
are loud.
That is a
It's okay to be loud and wrong.
Well, I'll just say, just on the front, like, my hottest take is that fruit should never be hot. I'm talking apple pie. I'm talking cherry pie. Just in any capacity, fruit should never be eaten warm.
No peach cobbler?
No. No. I've gotten better at it. I like it more, but, like, that's what I was thinking when I said, what's your hottest take? Not like Titans. Like, I was trying to not do my job for, like, a couple minutes.
Tough.
let's revise then.
Like, everyone has the thing that they believe that's, like, a really
I got
unpopular
one for
opinion.
you.
What's yours?
I got 2.
Okay.
And this social media based. Hot honey doesn't belong on everything. And also,
okay.
This new pickle trend of making pickle dips and pickle pieces, pickle drinks, we can just end that one.
Pickle love is out of control. I would agree with that as well.
Okay, thank you. I'm not the only
I
one.
literally got a text from my fiance at 7-something this morning that said Trader Joe's now carries pickled onions. And she sent it in all caps, being very excited.
She can get that at the local corner store at any point in time. She can come over to the Foster residence. Yeah, absolutely, corner store. You stop it, Hawk. You heard of a corner store before. With that being said, she can come over to the Foster residence. We can pick her up some of the pearl pickle onions whenever she wants to.
Have y'all heard of the olive theory from How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Yes. Peyton and I live by the olive theory. It just has to do with pickles. So the olive theory says that in every good marriage or relationship, one person likes olives and the other doesn't. That way, when you have olives on something, you pick them off and you give them to your significant other. That's how we are with pickles. When I'll get a sandwich and it comes with like a side of pickles or like a pickle spear, I give it to Peyton because Peyton loves pickles. I am not a pickle guy. I don't dislike them. I just don't need them. It wastes space. And then I get the pickle juice on the stuff that I actually really want to enjoy because I don't like the pickle like juice and then it's moist and ugh. So we subscribe to the pickle theory.
I'm about to make you disgusted then. In high school, we used to have the little bags and the little pickle in the bag.
Baggies, huh?
You ever seen those that you can get at the cafeteria?
Justin was dealing bags in high school.
Exactly, with pickles.
What I'm hearing.
I would drink
That's
the
crazy.
pickle juice after.
You would drink the
I
pickle
would
like when
drink
you
it.
got the thick pickle.
Did you also
in
play
the bag?
linebacker for Nebraska in the 1980s?
Who's to say?
So I'm the olive guy in my relationship, though.
You don't
and
like
Keisha's
olives?
also the pickle lover. It was the only thing that settled her first time around with RJ too, with a pregnancy. Like she would get a Subway sub in college when it was $5 foot longs, extra pickles. I brought it home one time. She was
pickles.
like, I wanted more pickles than this. Yeah,
Wow.
the acidity I think settled her.
Do you like cucumbers?
First trimester. Yeah, I do.
Ugh.
Hate cucumbers.
No.
Love pickles.
That's just
wrong with
pickles
someone?
soaked in death.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's
Terrible.
amazing. I'm very particular about pickles though too.
Terrible.
I think there's only one sandwich that tastes really good with pickles, and that's a McDonald's sandwich. Burger.
What's a? I was gonna say what's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Don't,
Mr.
let's not get.
Technical.
Here's a hot take. It's not McDonald's.
Oh, it is McDonald's.
When you're from Ripley, Tennessee,
Yeah, it's McDonald's.
And
Most
for many other places that are listening to the sounds of our voices right now,
Definitely.
it's also Kroger's and it's Sonic's.
It's Sonics. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I've never
It's
heard
the
of
Kroger's.
Sonics.
That's Sonic.
You never heard of Sonic's?
No,
He never hung out at the Sonics on Fridays.
Oh, I sure did.
You think you know
Those
somebody?
Oreos Cheesequake Blast.
Who?
The Oreos
Cheesequake?
Yeah,
It's not Cheesequake.
it is.
It's just cheesecake.
Quake?
No, that's what they used to call it.
That's what they branded as?
No, I ate those too. The Oreo cheesecake
wait, was that Dairy
milkshakes were
Queen?
great.
Tell them.
Yeah, you're getting the two fast food
Yeah,
chains mixed up.
yeah.
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 But I
Growing
would
up
go
where
to
I
Sonic
did,
though.
Sonic's was the only place that was open past
sounds
like
wrong.
9 p.m. So that's just the place everybody went.
That's true.
After high school football game, after dark.
Yeah, that's why all the old Chevys
Where you
and
went?
big trucks went
Yeah,
to
right.
for the game. Yeah,
I think that's still happening.
Yeah, I think so. My nephew made Ron, his father, take him over to the Sonic, I think in Nolensville. And you know what happened?
There you go.
Baby Ball, LeBron Jr., he was the one sitting out there enjoying himself, and Dad had to sit in the truck and wait on him to get done. So, yes, Will, it's alive and well over there in Nolensville, man,
Sure.
on Fridays. But I'm the olive guy in the relationship, though. I like olives.
We'll push the topic we were
on.
about to do to tomorrow.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, well, we're out of time now, so it's okay.
Way to go, Hawk.
We're talking about pickles.
Look, I brought up
Hot
the Titans thing, and then we decided to go a different route to talk a little bit non-sports.
Yeah, that's right. And
So
there's
we
nothing
live
wrong with that either, is
We
there?
live with it.
Yeah, pickle dip. We need to let that go. I also saw
dip's
somebody
good, though.
on
Pickle
social media.
dip?
Yeah, it's a pickle dip. You can make it. It's like a Trader Joe's dish as well.
Nah, I'm good on pickle dip.
Yeah, no, they serious about it. Will.
I'm good on pickle dip. I know they are. I'm not they.
See, and that's why you my dog. That's it right there.
Oh, I see.
Fried pickles
I
are
like
great.
it.
Fried pickles are fantastic. Anything fried's good.
You can't have them too thick though.
I don't know though. There is an establishment downtown. I'll tell you in the break. Again, we're vague posting today. They do the pickle spears fried, not just the little circular ones.
Too much.
No, they're good.
Too much.
You just not go to the right place.
No, it's too much pickle. Like you want to get that in and get it out.
For me, it's the pickle to bread ratio.
Oh,
It's the pickle to breading ratio. That's the key.
Well, we put ourselves in a pickle now. Taylor Zarzer joins us coming up next. Ramon Will rolls on hour number 4 on this Tuesday. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, pleased to be joined by a man who just talked to the guy singing. He has voiced the Titans, Taylor Zars. We're talking a little Titans, a little PGA Championship as well this morning. What's up, Taylor? How we doing?
Morning, Taylor.
Morning, my friends. Did you watch Hometown Titans Episode 1?
It looked very comfortable is what I saw in there, Taylor. I got to go get more details behind it, but you look real comfortable. Who lake house were you at?
That was Eric's lake place, about 20 minutes west of Nashville, still in Davidson County, a place where he goes to write all of his songs. And you need to check it out on the Tennessee Titans YouTube page, Mr. Foster.
I got you, man. And also, I called it a lake house. You called it a lake place, which lets me know how massive that spot is, okay? I'm picking up the context and the stuff that you're saying, Taylor. That's all it is.
It's out of my tax bracket, that's for sure.
It's the kind of place you get when you set the attendance record in Nissan Stadium, which Eric Church talks about with Taylor's Zars. Beaten someone named Taylor Swift, I think, who had that record before. Taylor, let's start with a little bit of Titans and with this draft class specifically. I know you've gotten the chance to be around them, to sit down with them, and the OTP is a goldmine of content, as well as the Tennessee Titans YouTube channel that you mentioned. What stands out about this group as you get to know them, but also just get to watch them work over these last couple of weeks?
Their personalities, just the way that they behave, they all seem to be just dogs that are ready to play football. They're attacking type of people, fast and violent, I know, is the theme here now with the Titans under Robert Saleh. Was standing with Robert Saleh yesterday at practice, and my goodness, I think we have found someone that loves golf more than Will Bowling or Taylor Zarzer, by the way. But in between talking a lot of golf, Coach Saleh, I said, where are my eyes going today? And he said, well, I know how much you love to watch Cam, but he was like, watch the rookies. He's just how quickly these guys ingratiated themselves to the team. I think that's just really the big thing that I noticed. Just listening to the lukewarm take that Justin Hawkins had just a moment ago, I will tell you that Mr. Coogan and Carmona very quickly look like guys that have been around the team for a long time. They just have that kind of personality. And so that's the thing that you quickly realize. The other thing is just watching Carnell Tate fly down the field. It's just fun to see number 14 there in a Titans uniform as well. So, Anthony, the guy I probably left out that's the best example of this personality that the Titans want to play with, how they're trying to change the culture, and it's a player-led culture. Anthony Hill would probably be the best example of that. Just the way that this guy played at Texas. If you listen to our draft coverage here on 104.5, you heard Ramon talking about that, just how this guy plays just with a ton of leadership. So that's the first thing you notice with the rookies.
Taylor Zarzer, our guest, voice of the Titans at TitansTZ on Twitter. The cornerback position, Taylor, feels to me like the most improved spot on this roster year over year, with Cordell Flott and Alontae Taylor, Marcus Harris looking to take a jump into his second season at that nickel position, Kevin Winston Jr. getting healthy again, just helping that entire secondary beyond just the cornerback position as well. What's it been like spending time with Alontae Taylor and Cordell Flott as those two really big investments? One of them that we know reportedly was really wanted back by his old employer in Cordell Flott as well. How do you think those two change the overall outlook of this secondary?
Well, first of all, their talent. It changes it significantly. That was a big issue for the Titans last year, some of which was due to health, right? Is the Titans just were decimated by injury in the back end of the defense as the season went along. But the other is just how talented they are. That's the first thing you notice. And the way that the two of them have pressed each other out there on the practice field so far this offseason. Their leadership, I think, is going to be a big part of the improved play on defense on that side of the football, and just how vocal those two guys are and how they push each other. But the first thing that sticks out is their talent. Flott, I think, is going to take the responsibility of playing against the big threat down the field quite a bit. And Alontae Taylor is somebody that you might see more inside, but from time to time they'll probably switch those roles. But watching those two guys battle against each other in practice has been a lot of fun so far. And you're right. That's where I would point to is the biggest improvement I've seen so far this offseason through the draft and through free agency.
We're joined by Taylor Zarza, voice of the Titans, this morning. Taylor, when you look at the overall new structure of the Tennessee Titans as well, just on the practice field with what you've seen so far, it's kind of a 2 versus 1 against Brian Dable at this point, offense versus defense. You got Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh versus Brian Dable. What has that engagement been like from your side, your eyes and your ears, hearing them interact with one another?
It is fun. There is a seriousness at practice, first of all, that you've noticed, and you have a ton of experience with all these guys that have been head coaches that are so passionate about their roles on this team, and I think that adds a lot of value, and I think it's going to yield a substantial amount of more victories for the Titans, first of all. But the next thing you notice is as practice starts, Dable and Saleh are constantly in each other's ear talking about the plan that day, and then once they go off to their respective units, Dable is right there next to Cam Ward and Mitch Trubisky and Will Levis and Hendon Hooker watching the offense work. And then Gus Bradley is right behind Robert Saleh, sort of in his ear. And it's just kind of fun to watch that dynamic work. And, there is a ton of pride on both sides of the ball. And I think you're going to see these guys push each other all the way until the beginning of September when the season starts. It's, again, at their core, Saleh's a defensive guy. He's a defensive coordinator, and I think he is so fired up to call the plays defensively and have this guy that sort of feels like a de facto big brother in Gus Bradley, who's one of the best to ever do it, that's in his ear. And on the other side, you've got Dable, who's like, I am going to wear you out today. That guy is so competitive as you watch him. He's so competitive with Cam Ward and everybody on the offense, challenging them through practice. And then certainly he wants to beat the guy on the other side of the football. So I think you can speak to this, Ramon, better than anybody, but the kind of level of competition and how big of the battles these guys are going to face against each other before the season starts is really going to pay off in the 2026 season when it comes to wins and losses, and maybe even more so in 2027 and beyond.
No doubt about it. Taylor, I feel like we've overlooked, not really, but we hadn't talked a ton about tight end Jaren Kanak as well. I know there's steps that he's got to go through to make the team and honestly garner that type of attention as well. But Will and I talked about him a little bit earlier. I feel like with his athleticism and the ability to still be a moldable piece, and the last selection for this team as far as draft picks go this year, he can play a multitude of roles. I know special teams has to be a part of his, future in the near future, but he has a level of athleticism, Taylor, that could take him into a role to where I would almost guess, Kyle Juszczyk, if he has and possess the physicality to play that position.
I was just about to ask you, because I asked him this question, what position is he? Because this guy's played just about every position at the high school and then at the professional and then at the collegiate level on both sides of the ball. He's only recently been a tight end, and he looked very good doing that at Oklahoma. But you're right. I don't know how much he factors in at tight end, and it'll be interesting to see if that's in fact where he ends up on the field, or do you see him more, as you're saying, like an H-back type of role if he does, in fact, see the field for the Titans. But I do think that he's got a great chance to do something in special teams for Bones Fossil. Bones Fossil was joking before the draft started. He goes, Saturday's my day. Who we take on Saturday is going to be playing on special teams. And I don't think there's any doubt that Jaren Kanak is going to be one of those guys that you see doing that. So you're right. He's not just something. There's no question that Mike Borgonzi did not draft Jaren Kanak to strictly, exclusively be a tight end. He drafted him to do a lot of different things for the Titans on the field this year. And I do think that, as you say, his background is going to be a big advantage to him seeing some playing time. You typically wouldn't see somebody that late in the draft having a big role, but I think he's got a real chance.
I mean, honestly, I feel like, Taylor, anyone who spent time around Bones Fossil would say he's so positive and upbeat. Every day is Bones Fossil's day. I mean, truly.
That's true. That is true.
Taylor, one more thing on Titans, because I am going to nerd out on golf with you a little bit here in a minute, and maybe Robert Saul is out there listening. He'll appreciate that. With Anthony Hill Jr., whom you mentioned, it feels to me like if you were to pick anyone on this team that's been brought in this offseason that perfectly exemplifies Mike Borgonzi's type and Robert Saleh's type, it feels to me like Anthony Hill Jr. Just listening to him talk, he talks like the kind of leader and the outgoing, just kind of alpha mentality it feels like they value and they covet. Am I fair in kind of drawing those conclusions, saying that Anthony Hill Jr. is kind of what they want more of on this roster overall?
I would tell, if you really want to nerd out and get ready for the season, I would tell Titans fans to go back and watch some Texas games this past year, whether you just watch highlights on YouTube or watch an entire game. His best game in college was one that my crew was fortunate enough to call, the Texas-Mississippi State game in Starkville, that crazy game where Texas came back and won it in overtime. He had 3 sacks in that game. And just watch pre-snap the way that this guy communicates. And obviously he was the communicator for Texas last year, but he does. He has an energy level and an enthusiasm. He has the kind of leadership that's exactly what you're talking about. And in the middle of last season, I was talking to Mike Borgonzi, the general manager of the Titans, about how he was going to build this roster and how he was going to turn this into a championship-level team. Mm-hmm. And I was asking him a little bit about his time in Kansas City, and he said the critical thing for the Chiefs years ago was when the players started taking control of the entire locker room. And the general manager, the assistant general manager, the coaching staff, they didn't have to control the locker room. They didn't have to tell everyone what the plan was. The players did that. And you saw that last year with Cam Ward and Jeff Simmons, but you really need to see it on every level, at every position group. And Hill is the type of person that has that kind of demeanor. And that's exactly what the Titans are trying to do, is make this a player-led team, a culture that's driven by the players. And Hill was that at Texas. And I think they expect him to do that pretty quickly. And there's no pressure here. Mm. You know, they have depth there. Cedric Gray's coming off of an incredible season where he was one of the top tacklers in the NFL. Cody Barton has that kind of leadership as well. But I think very quickly they're expecting Anthony Hill to be one of the biggest leaders they have on the team.
Taylor Zarza, our guest. All right, Taylor, switching gears for the last 5 minutes that we have with you here. PGA Championship this weekend. How do I pronounce it? Aronimink? Am I right on that?
That works.
All
yep.
Right.
Some Philly people, Pennsylvania people, their pronunciation of things is a bit different than yours or mine.
It is.
Being a child of the South, it sounds kind of like Aronimink.
Okay. Aronimink.
Maybe not Aronimink, but Aronimink. But I think that it's fine for you to say whatever you'd like. Aronimink, I think, works for most of us. Newtown Square,
yes,
Pennsylvania. Make sure you say it that way. Just outside of Philly is where Aronimink or Aronimink is.
I already tried to say Newton, so I got corrected on that earlier this morning when Ramon was asking me questions that, to be fair, you are going to answer way better than I am. I did see, though, earlier that Rory McIlroy is speaking to the media and says, off the tee, the strategy is non-existent in terms of the course setup. What kind of tournament are we going to see this weekend, if that's the case?
Well, let me tell you why he says that. They cut out a lot of trees.
Oh.
And a lot of golf courses across the country, in fact, a lot of championship golf courses like Oakmont on the other side of Pennsylvania has cut out all of their trees. And the biggest reason they've done that is they're trying to do two things. From a financial standpoint, maintaining the golf course isn't nearly as challenging if you cut out all those trees. And secondly, they're trying to have a prettier view of the entire golf course where you can see things from just about anywhere you're located on the course. But some people don't like that. They think that cuts out some strategy. That they like parkland golf courses that are tree-lined on every single fairway. But when you do cut out all those trees, like Rory is saying, you can just bomb it. You have these huge sight lines where you have these massive fairways, and you don't have trees that are in your way. And when you're arguably the greatest driver of the golf ball ever, which Rory McIlroy very much is in that conversation, then you have all this confidence as you stand on those tees just to hit that thing with the driver and hit it as far as you possibly can. the defense of this golf course at Aronimink is going to be the greens. The greens are, I would call them potato chip shaped, meaning there are a lot of different waves and a lot of mounding and undulation and movement in them. And not so dissimilar to where they just played the first major championship of the year, Augusta National Golf Club. You have to be on the right level if you want to have a chance to make birdie there. So that's where it's going to be challenging, is on the green. But what a huge story that would be, guys, is if Rory McIlroy wins the first two majors of the year in 2026 and has a genuine chance to go for the calendar Grand Slam. There are a couple of big, fun storylines in this PGA Championship. Jordan Spieth, for the 10th year, is trying to complete the career Grand Slam. I don't know how realistic that is, just given the way he's played so far this year. But Rory McIlroy winning the tournament would probably take the cake. Regardless of what happens, I'd love to see a thrilling finish. We didn't really get that last year at Quail Hollow. Scotty Scheffler ran away from the field. I hope it comes down to the wire, because that always makes it fun.
Taylor, you mentioned Jordan Spieth not being able to complete the big tournaments, I guess, as well. What's changed between he and Rory, in a sense of Rory being able to get over that hump, it seems,
good question,
as far as the Masters, and you mentioned he can win the two majors right now. What's different in their career path so far between Jordan Spieth and Rory?
Ramon, Jordan cannot manage his bad days. Everybody has a bad day or two in these golf tournaments that last for 4 days. And when you're having a bad day and you don't know exactly where it's going, you're fighting your golf swing, you've got to be able to turn in the best score you possibly can. I really mean this when I say it. I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment. Scotty Scheffler is the very best I've ever seen at that. Better than Tiger Woods, better than Jack Nicklaus. Scotty Scheffler, when he doesn't have his game, still is able to scrape it around, minimize his mistakes, at worst make bogey, and still have a fighting chance to win the golf tournament. That's the problem with Jordan Spieth, is when he's fighting it, he loses it, and he shoots a score that shoots him out of the tournament. That's the difference between him and, say, a Rory McIlroy or a Scotty Scheffler, is he just cannot manage these bad days. And that's why it's hard to imagine him winning this PGA Championship, is because we have not seen him put 4 good days together in a golf tournament so far this year. I hope we get to see it this week, because the guy is so good for the game. He has so many fans out there. He's really easy to be around. He's a well-read guy. It would be a fun story if, in fact, he had a chance this week. But you're using blind hope, really, if you're picking Jordan Spieth to win the PGA Championship.
It's fair.
That's fair.
So it sounds like it's another Cameron Young week then, Taylor, if it's trees are taken down and Cam Young's going to knock on the door again, too.
I mean, based on the way he's playing this year, he's really the antithesis of what I just said. He's giving himself a chance every single time he tees it up. Here's something to think about, guys. Okay. This is kind of a fun little nugget to think about with Cam Young. So Cam Young never had won a PGA Tour event in his first 5 years on tour until he won in Greensboro last August. And now all of a sudden he's won a couple of times. He won the Players Championship in March, and he just won a huge signature event in Florida 2 weeks ago, and he's had a chance at the Masters, and he had a chance last week in Charlotte. The big difference is his best friend who played with him at Wake Forest, his name is Kyle Strabinsky, is his caddy, and Kyle is one of the best green readers in the world. And all of a sudden, Happy learned how to putt. Cam Young is now putting so well, and it's because he's got a guy who he trusts that is one of his best friends who's helping him read these greens, and it has made a world of difference. So I don't know why you'd expect anything different. I absolutely think he has a great chance this week.
So how do you go about finding that type of caddy?
It's hard, man. Okay. I mean, if you don't have a relationship like that, I mean, so Kyle played in college at Wake Forest with Cam, and then Kyle decided, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to make it as a player, and he was willing to go out there and be Cam Young's caddy. That's kind of rare, you know? I mean, if somebody you played with at UT, you know, all of a sudden says, hey, Ramon, I'm going to help manage your career and get the best out of you, and I like you, know how to be the best offensive lineman in the world. I'm just not as talented as you, but I'm going to help you with that. Like, that's just a very unique, rare thing, that a partnership that they have. In most cases, you just go out there and you say, okay, well, this guy used to caddy for one of the best players. I'm going to try him. But then you go out there and you realize that your personalities are different. It's a really challenging thing to find that partnership.
It's like that in football. There are better coaches than there are players. Like I play with a guy you mentioned at UT, Jim Bob Cooter. He's a better he's a better play caller than he is player. You know, so I get it.
It's a great example.
Yeah,
for sure. Taylor Zarza, our guest, Voice the Titans, our resident golf expert as well. He's everywhere talking golf. He's, of course, with us here talking Titans. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Taylor.
Appreciate you, my friends. Can't wait to see you soon.
Yes, sir. All right. Taylor Zarza with us here this morning. Check out the interview with Eric Church. Available now, Titans YouTube page.
Yeah, I watch it in totality, man. Shout out to Taylor for that one. Next time, invite us to the lake house, man. That's all we ask.
Lake Place.
Lake Place. Lake Place.
Final headlines. Looking ahead to tonight's postseason sporting viewing. I'll also give a little entertainment nugget to the people. A show I'm watching that I'm ready to recommend now officially because I'm in the final season of it. Coming up next. What's going on? It's Will Bowling for my friends at Fleet Feet, your resource for running and walking in Nashville since 2002. I love working with Fleet Feet, not just because they put you in the best shoes and inserts and solution to get you back on the road if you're walking, if you're running, if you're training for that next big race, but they connect the local running community so well as well. I've got an event to put on your radar. Wednesday, June 3rd, the Big Run. Celebrate Global Running Day with Fleet Feet Nashville and Brooks at a free 5K at Geodis Park. Wednesday, June the 3rd, 6:30 p.m. This isn't just a race. It's a celebration of 50 years of Fleet Feet in the running community. All ages, all paces, runners and walkers are welcome. Head online, fleetfeet.com/nashville/the-big-run. It's just the kind of event that Fleet Feet Nashville gives you to not only give you the right shoes to get out there on the road, but to also connect you with other like-minded runners and walkers here in the Middle Tennessee area as well. You can find out more always at fleetfeetnashville.com. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show. Coming up tomorrow morning, Stephen Godfrey joins us in studio talking college football for the 8 a.m. hour. Our weekly visit with Rhett Bryan as well. Going to take a tour around the AFC South tomorrow. Who improved the most in the AFC South? The Titans, the Texans, the Jags, three options you got there. I guess the Colts, too, are an option. So they technically are in the AFC.
Their linebacker, C.J. Allen, he continues to get bad press on his movements for them in this OTAs period that they're in right now.
Okay.
He had another drop back where he's working purely on technique. Now, I think he's possibly a good athlete. He just has to train himself to be better. And you'll see in all of his movements, he's dropping back in coverage. He's chopping his arms like, when you're a runner, they teach you hip to rip, hip to ear. He does.
Cross my hip.
Yeah.
I put my hand down.
He does everything, I feel like, technically right now. And I'll be interested to see what that looks like for him moving forward. 'Cause he's a bigger linebacker as well. And I think people are judging his movement off of that, speaking of Indy.
It is the time of year where we hyper-analyze drills. That's for sure.
We're getting a good bit of it.
And this is also when we do the classic, why is this quarterback doing this drill? I would rather them do. And we just talk about things that a lot of us have no idea about.
I agree with you.
We're good at getting angry. Sports Talk Radio.
Never short of that. Never short of a little sports anger.
Tonight, Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals. Victor Wembanyama. I have to say his name like that. It's just part of the thing. Not suspended for tonight's game against the T-Wolves. They are favored by 10.5, 7 o'clock tip-off on NBC.
Man, they be fools.
Yeah, he should have probably been suspended.
You think so? Well, here's my thing. I don't think I love when we differ like this.
I mean, I thought it was just like a foregone conclusion that
he should have been suspended.
I mean, if his name was Draymond Green, he'd probably get suspended, right?
Draymond also has a reputation.
Sure.
Wemby's he's got the NBA in a chokehold.
Chokehold?
Chokehold. Yeah. He's the most visible guy right now, I think, internationally. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, doesn't have this visibility. Not the best.
He's Canadian. That's kind of the same
Is that
thing.
part of it, though? Yeah. LeBron is sliding down. Steph is kind of leveled off because of the injury this past year.
Yeah, the face of the league is starting to become
Luka's not there.
Victor Wembanyama, who the people who are left.
Joker doesn't want it.
Yeah, Joker just wants to hang out with his horses.
Giannis was covered over by covered up by injuries as well in Milwaukee too.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be in the playoffs. That was his first offense, if I'm not mistaken, like this. The NBA also need to do a better job, I think, of policing how he's climbed up over as well. He got frustrated. I was listening to Carmelo Anthony and those guys speak about it. Carmelo, Tracy McGrady, and Vince Carter speak about it. Like, he got frustrated, and rightfully so, in my opinion. I don't think he should have got Nas on that elbow like that, but I'd be ticked off too if I was him. And he also knows the NBA needs him. This series against Minnesota is better when he's going to be in. And I'm here to watch him play. I'll watch more of them because of what they got going on, him and Anthony Edwards right now.
Okay.
That's a good series.
I feel like those are the two faces of the league who are left playing. Anthony Edwards and Victor Wembanyama.
What Ja Morant left behind, them two dudes, in my opinion. There's others as well, but them two dudes who are still in the playoffs, they've stepped up in a major way for the league. And then you got an American, you got an international player. And there are more players, too, that are in it. But Victor Wembanyama and also Anthony Edwards, to me, that series is a futures face of the league type of situation. Sure. If Minnesota could ever win one.
Oh, I saw a trivia question last night. What is the because I always think of the pain that they've had over the years. What Big Four sports city that has all four leagues represented has the least amount of championships?
The least amount of championships?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Denver?
Nope.
Is it Minnesota since we're talking about
it's
it?
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Has the least amount of championships.
I don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
could be Cleveland.
Picking C on the test, like I picked it too much.
Cleveland, I mean, they've got Cavs.
They do got the Cavs.
Yeah, they won a couple times.
Old Cleveland.
How many
Browns.
times have the Guardians won?
They've just been in existence for a long time.
Yeah.
The Guardians.
Detroit. Somebody put in Detroit, too.
Red Wings have a ton. No, not Detroit.
Red Wings got a ton?
Oh, yeah.
I never paid.
That's an original franchise. Red Wings are blue blood.
Atlanta.
They just suck now. They don't have all four.
The Braves.
They don't have the Thrashers.
Yeah. Okay.
The Braves only have 2 as far as Atlanta goes. But yeah, it's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, like they just have the Twins.
It's just stuck.
Sore subject for Braves fans. Shrinking on Apple TV, highly recommended. I've just started season 3.
It's far.
It's show season. Can catch up on shows more in the off season. Obviously, if things that I'm not watching draft prospects film at the moment because the draft is done. Highly recommended. Jason Segel. I love How I Met Your Mother. He's Marshall on How I Met Your Mother. Kobe Smulders, who plays Robin, comes into the mix in season 2, and I think more in season 3. I just started the recent season that just ended. Harrison Ford. I probably should have led with him. Another main character. Really good. Really, really good. Highly recommend. So if you're looking for a show to watch, I'd recommend Shrinking on Apple TV. Shout out to my brother who recommended it originally. I finally took his recommendation, and I love it.
Wes, the best.
He is the best. So is my sister. So is my family.
Hey,
Shout out to them all. Back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Stephen Godfrey at 8. Rhett Bryan at 9. We'll talk to you then.
But remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.